at an undisclosed location. Ridgecrest police remind the community that impaired driving can come not just from alcohol, but from marijuana, prescriptions.
How do I turn this thing on, Chris? Chris.
I'm Bill Robbins in the KRN newsroom with news every half hour when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I don't know.
The army where you shoot them a mile away. You got to get a post like this.
Test, and this is on. We are rolling.
It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Call in or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant good afternoon to you, wherever you may be, however you may be listening or viewing at YouTube, Kern Radio. This is the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN, where we're streaming live, kernradio.com. Chris Burdick producing the broadcast on this 10th day of July. A lot of things going on. Bottom of the hour, we'll talk about what is going on in Texas and even in parts of New Mexico. 120 presumed dead in Texas. Still looking for 160 people. And now criticism has begun down in Kerr County, Texas. Just a really bad time. I mean, imagine your family, you're missing folks, and people are talking about warning signals, radio communications, things like that. It's just, we'll delve into that. It's Thursday. Mike Turnipseed will be with us via the Rogers Brandon Global Telephone Network at 4. Our money man, Daniel Petrie, at 4:30. Stocks went out the roof today. It'll be interesting to talk with Daniel. And Kevin O'Connor is becoming one of the most famous physicians in the country. He could not answer any of the questions. Then we've got, I sent you the James Comer stuff, didn't I?
Yes.
James Comer breaks down what they asked him. And none of it had anything to do with HIPAA or revealing your medical business of your patient. They just asked him simple stuff like, were you ever asked to not tell the truth about the president's mental state, and other questions? We'll unravel that for you as well. And the hue and cry for the head of Pam Bondi gets louder and louder. You got to remember, I'm trying to catch up. I had 96 hours of hibernation where I kind of kept myself ignorant of what was going on. And I did not know that Miss Bondi had caught. Who is an influencer? Is that your generation's language for podcasters and radio talk show? Are now, is a radio talk show host an influencer, or just a podcaster?
So I wouldn't say millennials coined the term, but I would definitely say Gen Zs did. But it's more of
all right. Back up. Who are Gen Zs?
People underneath us, like the
younger than you.
Like
20 somethings.
Mid-20 to somewhere in that area. I couldn't tell you the ages right now, to be honest with you.
So what are you at 31?
Millennial.
Okay. All right. So who are influencers?
So influencers would be like your the Paul brothers, like anybody who's gotten famous off of YouTube or social media and makes money that way. You're known as an influencer.
Well, apparently they invited them to the conservative influencers, and Pam Bondi was handing out booklets on Jeffrey Epstein. These people came out of the White House holding him up. I just saw the video last night, and she's a numbskull. She's a numbskull. And then on top of that, and of course, this all comes on the heels of my declaration yesterday that, while trying not to use the alliterative term, this cabinet is a crap show. Because this comes on the very day that they're asking Pete Hegseth, our defense secretary, were you the one that stopped the military aid to Ukraine? Because President Trump doesn't know anything about it. You guys really going to continue to defend this guy? He did something unilaterally. You know, he doesn't have a chief of staff. He can't even finish hiring people around him. This cabinet is a crap show. It really is. We'll talk about the Ukrainian thing a little bit. And I'm really excited about tomorrow. Maybe Saturday.
Saturday?
Yeah, maybe Saturday. Start at Mexicali. Maybe little shrimp tacos. Can't do shrimp tacos.
So you start watching what you're eating there. Baby.
Yeah, exactly. And I want to thank, please stand by. I want to thank Ray, who came by today. I was in a meeting, but thank you, Ray. Came by with this all-day energy greens. And no, I'm not selling it, although I look like I am. It's a high-octane energy drink for health and life. It's 42% citrus. Vitamin C. And I'll give it a try. You know, I don't think I'll be able to play Sunday. No, I'm still dragging. I took a colchicine this morning, and I was like, "Oh Lord!" And then I had these conversations with myself. I was like, "Ralph, you're not taking 6 like you did Monday. Just taking 1." And I took a couple Motrins, and I was supposed to take a couple before the show started, but I'll do that in about the hour. But yeah, so I started Mexicali with all right. I'll have maybe they have the burger. They have a mean burger. And then I'm off to Maya Theaters. What am I watching, Chris?
Superman?
Dun, da, da. In fact, God dang it, I meant you to get the music. I'm really excited about this thing. I read the 56-inch story this woman wrote in the LA Times about it. Good googly moogly. It's the longest movie critique I've ever seen in my life. She went back. You realize, and it was an informative article if you want to know a lot about Superman, that he is the first superhero. I guess deep down we realize that it was written by a pair of Jewish writers in 1938. Imagine in 1938 coming up with a character who was faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive. And I think this is the problem with the franchise. None of them will be as good as this one. This is from the first one, I assume. Why are you giggling at that?
I think that's up to perception.
Which one is better than Christopher Reeve?
I think Man of Steel is up there.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Really?
Again,
this dark, ugly side of the man who bumped around life and then finally figured it out. And then even if I got by that, because who's the woman in the thing? Because I kind of liked her.
Oh, Amy Adams.
Okay, so finally she searches the world to find this guy, and he's working on ships and saving people falling off of bridges and just playing it low. And then finally at the end, he gets into this ridiculous fight with the guy from Krypton, although I thought he was the only survivor, but all right, fine. And
Zod's in the other movies too.
Yeah. You're right. They isolate him. They send him off. In fact, it's his father, Jor-El, or Marlon Brando. Did you know that? Marlon Brando played his dad. That exiles them, and that's why they're also saved. But it's a ridiculous fight scene that ends that movie. Come on. Nothing touches 1. But apparently this does. It's got an 85% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes. And I saw David Corsonet and Rachel Brosnahan on The View this morning. And so they're pumping this thing up hard. This is, because walk me through this, because you know this better than I. It's DC versus Marvel. Marvel's part of Disney.
Yes, yeah. Marvel's owned by Disney.
And Disney had like Sinners, which is on HBO and I still can't watch. And F1.
Disney, but I should double check that.
It's either one of them. It's either DC or Marvel has them. I think it's Marvel. I think it's Disney. It's Sinners, F1, and that's franchise you like, Final Destination.
Yeah.
That's all Marvel, right?
No. Marvel is Iron Man, Captain America, Hulk.
Please stand by. You're going to make me look this up now. because I saved
Yeah,
it.
Sinners is a horror movie, which definitely not Marvel.
But it's in that franchise. It's in that zip code of.
It's got a director who directed a Marvel movie, along with some people who were in Marvel movies.
God dang it! I thought I
No,
saved it.
Marvel is all superheroes. If there's no superheroes involved, it is not a Marvel movie.
What was F1?
F1 is definitely not a Marvel movie.
I think
F1
you're
is a
wrong.
sports movie.
I think you're wrong about this. I thought I just read this.
Now, Disney may have a hand in the production of all of those movies, but they're not Marvel movies.
Well, they're in this story that's basically Marvel versus DC. I don't know why they would include them if it wasn't part of the Marvel franchise. I don't know. I'll take a look. Maybe I got it backwards. But it's one. They're part of DC or Marvel because that's what the whole article is about. The DC is going up against Marvel. The DC is going up against Disney, and that they are hitching their wagons to Superman, and that this thing is going to save the franchise. They're expecting 140, 150 million dollars. We should be talking about this tomorrow anyway, when, of course, Rick Bentley from KGT TV 17 joins us.
Oh wow! Okay, I did not.
Thank you. Thank you. Read it. Read it. Go ahead, read it. That's right. Go ahead. Tell him. Go ahead. Tell him.
Would you calm
Go
down?
ahead.
Sinners is technically based off of a Marvel movie. I did not, or a Marvel comic. I did not know.
Well, see.
F1 though, definitely not a Marvel movie. Calm down on that.
Yes, it is. Well, so what? You think I just linked those three movies?
F1, a movie about
After the break
into F1 racing, have anything to do with superheroes?
After the break, I will read the section of the Los Angeles Times article, a 56-inch damn story on Superman and DC versus Marvel. But
I'll give you. I had no idea that was based on.
I am trying to get up the gumption to watch Sinners.
It's really good.
Oh, you've seen it?
Oh yeah, it's a very, very good film.
But it's a scary film.
I mean,
people are killing everybody, and people are.
You rarely see them die. Actually,
Michael B. Jordan,
at the end where they're all fighting and some of them die, but you rarely see any of them get actually like picked off and die like that.
It's like Get Out. I couldn't watch that. I watched about 10 minutes of Get Out, and I had to cut out.
Yeah,
After the dinner scene, I was like, okay, I'm out.
Oh, absolutely. Get Out is more of a horror movie than Sinners is.
When we come back, we'll begin with a day at Wimbledon. The big Belarus bear got beat up at 5:30 this morning. I fell asleep about 9:30 last night because I haven't been sleeping very well of late. And I literally had left it on SportsCenter, woke up at 5:30, and the match was just beginning. And it was outstanding. Amanda Anisimova, the young American who had trouble with her mental health and literally walked away from the sport, came back and won the first set, lost the second set, was up big in the third and damn near choked. And then there was typical Sabalenka drama. I'll unfold the whole match for you because I know none of y'all got up at 5:30 this morning to watch it. We'll get into that and tell you about the men. Burdick and I are about to face one another in the finals. I'm in a bad spot, though. I'll explain when we come back. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on a Thursday, right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. We're streaming live at kernradio.com.
News Talk 96.
It's on fire in here.
Huh?
It's hot as hell in here.
I was thinking that earlier. You got Messmaker right here, though.
All right.
And also, double checking this right now, I actually might be right. It's not based on the thing, but I have to double check this. What's the third movie you said, though?
F1, Sinners, and Final Destination.
Okay, yeah, Final Destination, definitely.
All right.
Cough around. Is this something to be concerned about? Next, Armstrong and Getty Show.
Weekdays noon to 2 on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Keep it locked. Coming up at 4:30, our money man, Daniel Petrie from Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors joins us. The stock market blew the roof this afternoon. So it'll be an interesting conversation with Daniel, trying to figure out what exactly happened. Are the tariffs kicking in? Are the new threats of tariffs causing this? The economy is booming, but you're not going to hear that from Democrats. We'll talk with Daniel Petrie from Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors. And you know what they are all about? They are all about retirement. If it's staring you in the face, call Daniel today at 395-9400, 9400. Just keep it locked right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Daniel joins us at 4:30 as he does every Thursday right here on the Ralph Bailey Show.
This broadcast is for informational purposes only. Does not constitute a solicitation or offer to buy or sell any security, future, option, or other financial instrument, or to offer or provide any investment advisory or other services to any person in any jurisdiction by Daniel Petrie or NPWA Inc., DBA Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors. Any views expressed in this broadcast by us are prepared based upon the information available to us at the time, and we are under no obligation to update our views.
Carpet Outlet Plus. Every day is sale day.
Okay, so we'll get into this further apparently. So apparently there's a Marvel comic named The Sinners, but it has nothing to do with it. Apparently the movie.
Would you just let me find the
That's
article?
what I'm saying. Go ahead and find it. But now I'm finding
Is
out.
there any wind coming out of that fucker?
Oh no, Dad, I spilled juice on the carpet.
Don't
Yeah.
worry, kiddo.
All
We
right.
have stain-resistant
Yeah,
carpet
it's
from
fine. Honestly,
Carpet Outlet
it's fine.
Plus.
Dad,
What?
look
Lot
at
of shit outside, you get the
all
window.
over the new floors.
Everything
I
is
can't
fine.
close the
We have
drapes.
brand new waterproof floors from Carpet Outlet Plus. You can find
That's why my
everything you need for
PG&E 's so high. First thing I do is turn on my bedroom light.
Now offering
I
1
hate
year no
darkness.
interest financing. Carpet Outlet Plus, 3.5
I
blocks
agree.
less than 99 on
But it's probably
Rosedale
why
Highway.
it's so high.
Yeah.
So the sun's been beating down.
It's gonna be a tough week and a half,
Please
boy.
meet Paul Sheldon's client, Vivian Rushing.
Hi, my name is Vivian Rushing. I am a client of Paul Sheldon. They helped me get everything in order. I had no clue what I was doing, and they were wonderful. The staff is amazing. Lynn and Kelly go out of their way to make you feel comfortable when you walk through the doors and make sure you have everything that you need. Paul is very accommodating. He uses himself as an example to help you understand the process of the insurance and what benefits you should be looking at and what you shouldn't be looking at and how to go about getting it together. I have recommended Paul Sheldon just a couple of days ago. I was in line to get my medications and this gentleman was talking about retiring and didn't know what to do. I told him, contact Paul Sheldon. He's the best. I just want to say thank you, Paul Sheldon. You're wonderful and your staff is amazing.
When Medicare matters, our team has the answers. Team Paul Sheldon.
398-2298. The Armstrong and Getty Show, weekdays noon to 2 on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show.
When I think of you sometime and I want to spend some time with you, just the two of us.
We can make it if we try, just the two of us.
So just public PSA, getting text messages. Stay far, far away from the 99 at the moment.
Really? Oh, yeah.
I can see it from here. It is backed up. So stay off the 99 if you can help it.
Because the northbound is moving, but the southbound looks like it's a Friday, and those two slow lanes get all backed up every Friday. They're moving. I mean, it's not dead. That's the worst. I grew up with that.
Yeah.
Being on the 405 and looking to your left and just staring at the driver next to you. That's the worst. Like, how is it possible that we're not moving? Like, where is it up there? And a lot of times it's not like, and obviously you say, well, accident, Ralph, and they're trying to clear the accident. No, not in LA, boy. Not in the 70s. It could just be people that are stupid and off ramps that are backed up that, you know, like where I would get off at Sunset to go to high school. That off ramp would come all the way down to the slow lane because there was a red light there by that circular Holiday Inn that you can see off the 405. And that off ramp would be backed up all the way to the slow lane. So you'd be 2 miles, you'd be almost to Westwood trying to get off at Sunset, going 5 miles an hour at 8 o'clock in the morning. I was constantly late for high school. I lived 15 minutes from the Brentwood School, as opposed to my whole career from 6th grade to 10th grade going to the Sherman Oaks, 45 minutes. I was never late. I understand that. But I am excited about Amanda Anisimova and the fact that an American woman has made the finals. And they're trying to make, please stand by, Mark Swain. Dude, I don't think I'm going to be able to play this week. Thank you. I'm diving off at 7th standard. Well, that's good. Oh, yeah, it's getting slower and slower.
Stay off the 99 if you can help it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, now you can see the second and third lanes. In fact, the slow lane where people can get off of California is the one that's moving now. So yeah, it's good advice. They're trying to make history. I didn't even realize this because the only tennis matches I watch are the finals. I mean, the majors. Do you realize an American woman has won the last 3? And if an American woman wins the U.S. Open in, I think, September.
Oh, you mean the last 3 majors? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Madison Keys won the Australian Open.
Right.
Coco won the French.
Now, potentially.
And Jennifer Pegula won the 24 U.S. Open. So now if another American wins the U.S. Open, that's 4 straight majors that Americans would have won. Did I get that right?
Americans are about to clean sweep.
Well, she's got to beat Iga Swiatek. I don't know how she beat
Sabalenka. You could beat Swiatek.
I agree. Swiatek destroyed Belinda Bencic, Swiss girl. It was an interesting story as well. She was pregnant like a year ago and came back and played really well 2 days ago, but she cracked a nail in her big toe and just couldn't compete. She got blown off the court. But that'll be the finals. And for the men, my problem, as I said before the break, is my bet with Burdick. I want to call it off now, but you can't do that because I want to root for Taylor Fritz.
I kind of do too.
I want to root for the American. Well, you are rooting for him because you want to see my boy get booted out. And well, if he beats my man and Skinner beats Novak,
Sinner got to win the whole thing until Fritz obviously got to the semis.
and now Djokovic was supposed to hit today, and he canceled his hitting schedule. You see, he did the splits like 3 points before he won a couple of days ago, and he pulled his groin. So he's probably 80% tops, which is too bad. It's weird how you begin to like people. I used to hate him. The whole thing about he wouldn't play in the U.S. Open because he wouldn't get vaccination. And he's just but now he's kind of a lovable old man. He's like 37, 38, and I kind of root for him now. But it was great to see this young American beat Sabalenka. And the drama that I was talking about. Okay, you watch tennis at all?
I mean, I can't when I can, but
Okay, so when a player hits a shot that hits the tape and falls over, luckily, because it could have gone either way, most players will be like, my bad. Sorry. Well, in the third set, the American girl wins the first set. Looks like she's going to destroy her. Sabalenka comes back, destroys her in the second set. So now you have no idea where this third set's going to go. And she gets out to a 4-1 lead. And I'm like, it's over. When she won, she out-served 4-1. I was like, it's over. There's no way she's going to win 5 games before this girl wins 2. No way in the world. So she goes up 5-2 with that shot that barely gets over the thing. And as they're coming to cross, Sabalenka, according to Chris Fowler, who does the thing with Chrissy Everett, she goes, why didn't you say I'm sorry? And I'm like, cool. She's losing it. In typical Sabalenka mind-screwed manner, she's lost it. She's down 5-2. She comes back and wins 5-3. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. She breaks her to go 5-4. So now she's serving to get to 5-5. And I'm like, it's over. The big Belarusian communist, godless bear is going to come back and beat this girl. And not only did Anna Samova break her to win the match, but she hit a backhand, absolute clear winner that the girl couldn't even touch. And she hugged her, grabbed her. She didn't put her tennis rackets in the bag. She just grabbed her stuff and walked off the court. It was about 7:30 in the morning. I was just like, yeah, boy. Yeah, you godless communist, you. Go back to Russia. Or what will soon be Russia. Once Vladimir gets done with Ukraine and moves on to back to Belarus, puts the whole band back together. But it was fun. It really was. We'll take a quick time out and come right back and get a little serious. Talk about what's going on in Texas and some of the criticism that's being levied against folks in Kerr County. Do you guys react every time you hear that? I'm like, what? Kern County? Oh, Kerr County. My bad. Kerr County, Texas. Kerrville. Imagine if a flood went through Bakersfield, and I almost asked Vince Vaughn this, are we ready? Because think about this. If there were 120 dead and 160 missing, every one of us would know one of those people probably. Quick timeout. We're coming right back. Don't go anywhere.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Officials at the Comfort Volunteer Fire Department triggered a flood warning siren last week when the Guadalupe River began to swell. If residents in the more than 2,200 person unincorporated community hadn't seen weather alerts on their phones or heard firefighters who went to each street yelling for people to begin evacuating, they had been trained to know the sirens meant they needed to leave immediately. The Los Angeles Fire Department says 31 construction workers are safely out of an industrial tunnel that partially collapsed. The workers on Wednesday night were 400 feet underground and near the coast, as much as 6 miles away from the only entrance. Some had to scramble over a tall mound of debris to squeeze out. On Wall Street, they're up by 192 points. More details at srnnews.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm Bill Robbins. A 30-year-old man faces multiple charges. Reginald Mullen was arrested for his alleged roles with the deaths of 2 people after several crashes in Bakersfield last month. According to BPD, Mullen faces charges including murder, gross vehicular manslaughter while intoxicated, and hit and run resulting in death. Mullen is accused of killing a driver at the scene and a pedestrian who died a day later. Ridgecrest Police will conduct a DUI checkpoint tomorrow night from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. It will be done at an undisclosed location. Ridgecrest Police remind the community that impaired driving can come not just from alcohol, but from marijuana, prescriptions, and even over-the-counter drugs. I'm Bill Robbins in the KERN Newsroom with news every half hour or when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Hey everybody, it's that man again, Ralph Bailey for Adaptive Network. You know, it's funny or coincidental that I'm talking to you about Adaptive Network because they literally just left our studios. That's right. We've teamed up with Adaptive Network because they are the best in town when it comes to IT. And, you know, the biggest mistake companies make with their IT is not having a plan. Like I've talked about, as a radio station, when our IT goes down, you hear nothing. So we can't just wait and say, oh, well, we'll call our IT guy the very next day. We have to have a plan. Disaster recovery, security policies, and compliance that all often get ignored. And they also talk about antivirus. Today's cyber threats need layered security, firewalls, endpoint protection, and monitoring. And that's why we've teamed up with Adaptive Network, and why you should as well. Call me on 241-0638. That's 241-0638. Adaptive Network, your IT partner in Bakersfield, making it simple, stable, and secure.
The JR Show, weekdays at 2 p.m.
It's sad that we've got to the point in this country where we can't even look at events objectionably anymore. Everything has to be from the side of a political party. It's sad that we now go in looking for evidence to support our narrative, our preconceived notions, rather than going in and trying to determine what really did happen.
Weekdays at 2 p.m. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. The Clay Travis and Buck Sexton Show, live 9 to noon. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Louis Prima! Yeah! It would have been fun to hang out in Vegas in the 50s and the 60s if I was white. I mean, let's be honest. They wouldn't let Nat King Cole and Sammy. I doubt if they'd let Ralph Bailey hang around the casino and the shops and the things. Isn't that crazy to think about? That Sammy Davis, until Frank Sinatra intervened, that Nat King Cole, Ella Fitzgerald, and Sammy Davis used to have to stay in the black section of Vegas and could not stay in the hotels in which they were filling the pockets for. That is just stunning. And I don't think a lot of people know that Frank Sinatra single-handedly desegregated Las Vegas, which is ballsy because he was working for gangsters. And he said, I'm not performing if Sammy can't stay here. That's just basic. I'm not asking for a lot. And, you know, for whatever reason, Sinatra has always been the idol of the mafia. I think primarily because he helped him out. He was Frank Sinatra was a gangster. Let's be honest about that. He was involved, you know, the scene in Godfather where, and if you know your history, you know the whole story, and they play it out in Godfather 2, that the mafia had learned that Batista, who ran Cuba until 1959, was crooked as a hanger. So if they could buy him, they had a country that would support their mob lifestyle and running these swank casinos, as Hyman Roth, who is Lee Strasberg, a really famous actor, talked about. These hotels are swankier than the ones that we built in Vegas, and we've got a country that'll go along. And then, boom. What did them in, Chris Burdick?
Is this the same where they're in Cuba and they're all at
Yeah.
dinner and he's talking? And
Yeah, but what? No, but historically, what did them in? What happened in Cuba in 1959?
Ethics?
No, it's more that. One man. So I'm looking for a name.
Oh, Fidel?
Yes, there you go. Very nicely done. Thank you. Fidel Castro overturns the government, and the mob is screwed. Screwed. This mecca of corruption is taken from them, and I believe, you can call me crazy and see me wear my tin hat on YouTube at Current Radio, but that's why Kennedy was invested in taking back Cuba and the Bay of Pigs, the failed Bay of Pigs that Chris referenced in the early part of the Kennedy administration. It was a payback for the mob helping getting him elected, and the promise was he would get the mob back into Cuba, and he couldn't do it. And that's when they tried to whack Castro a couple of times, tried to poison him, etc. And it's even played out in the film. Anyway, I'm rambling. I gotta get going. But Sinatra was a part of that, and Sinatra was the man who. There's the scene where Alfredo brings the money to Michael to invest in these new hotels. It was actually Sinatra who was bringing the money to the Lucky Luciano, and he also had the Calneva up in Lake Tahoe, which basically Sinatra was the front man for. It was a totally mafia-run deal, and they investigated and they took his license away because there were known mob members hanging around. Of course, they were running the joint. They weren't hanging around. They ran the joint, and they put two and two together, and they took Sinatra's license away. And I've seen the Calneva. The one time I've been to Lake Tahoe, you can see it if you cross the lake, which just had the same tragedy that we're experiencing. Not the same, but just an awful tragedy. Have you seen some of the video? The most amazing thing about the 21st century is people actually stop in major tragedies and film it. The footage of the floods is the likes of which I've never seen before. Have you seen the thing where the bridge collapses? That's just from, I think, a stationary camera. But there is just, or the one where they're like, well, it's really not. And in fact, I got some audio I might play in just a second, where the lady's like, well, it's not that bad. We've been told we should get out of here. And I'm on my balcony. And I'm like, lady, what part of evacuation do you not understand? And she's just taking us on a tour thing. And you can see time elapses. And she's like, now the next shot, she's in the parking lot. Well, I'm getting out of here. because you can see the water rising. I mean, it's amazing. It is absolutely. I don't know how they do it. I really, really don't. I really, really don't. It is, and now of course all the criticisms are coming in. Who you got?
Yeah, Ruben on the line real quick.
Ruben, you're on the Ralph Bailey Show.
Hey there, how you doing?
Good.
Good. Hey, listen, I'm enjoying your Vegas history there.
Oh, thanks.
Haven't lived there in the early '70s.
Oh yeah? Wow.
Oh yeah. Listen, I can give you some stories, but it'd have to be kind of a quiet cocktail hour.
Right.
Anyway, so listen, I just wanted to tell you that you were talking about Sammy Davis and how Frank Sinatra stepped in, all that.
Right.
The Blacks had a big nightclub called the Moulin Rouge. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
It was down on Bonanza. I don't know if you know where Bonanza is at. Bonanza Avenue or Road. It's north of right downtown. If you take Vegas Boulevard north and it drops down, you go into the railroad track, and then you come up, and that's Bonanza. And off to the right, they had the Moulin Rouge, and that was a big nightclub for the Blacks at that time. In fact, Benny Binion, who owned the Horseshoe back then,
Right.
who I actually worked for, he had a house about another maybe half mile from the Moulin Rouge right there. Quite a ranch-style home back in the day. So, yeah, so that history, the Blacks used to have their own nightclub, and it was quite a jumping place.
I bet.
It was. It was nice. They dressed up real nice, just like that movie. What's the movie?
Cotton Club? Cotton Club? That's a great picture. I love that picture.
It would remind you of the Cotton Club. Trust me, brother.
I bet.
It was pretty cool. All dressed up. Everybody looked great.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, man.
I was enjoying that. You know who I am, don't you?
No.
Yeah, Jessica Masters' dad.
Oh, hey, man. What's going on? Where are you in Texas?
You know what? I hate to always mention her name, but that's the only way anybody
I
remembers.
know. I didn't catch your voice. Are you down in Texas way?
No. I'm here visiting for a bit with the younger daughter here in Bakersfield for a bit, and then I'll be moving on.
Oh, man. If I didn't have a banged up foot, I'd play some golf with you.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to do unless you take off maybe about an hour before daybreak.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. I'm hoping to play Sunday with a group that plays at Sundale at 7 a.m., but I'm not sure.
Yeah, you might make it. I played up at River Island here about a week or so ago, and it wasn't too bad.
Yeah. I don't think I can't remember last time I played at 106, but we're off the course by 10:30, but still.
Love your stories about the Vegas thing. There's a lot of stuff there, and then you were mentioning, the stuff in Florida and Cuba and all that stuff. I'll get a hold of you someday and we'll chit chat.
I would love that. Always good to hear from you, man. Tell Jessica we said hi.
Sure will.
All right. Good talking with you.
Yeah. See y'all.
All right. Take care. That's Jessica Matthews' dad. Jessica Matthews, former executive director of the League of Dreams, and moved to, oh Lord, Montana? Idaho? Idaho. Yeah, it is Idaho. There's a joke there, but I'm not going to touch it. But yeah, I think she moved to Idaho. I first met them when Jessica was a teenager. She's a young track athlete. I was doing a morning show. A long time ago, boy. Long time ago. Anyway, as I was saying, but yeah, some of that stuff is absolutely fascinating. The whole tie-in with Sinatra and the mob and Cuba and Vegas and how, Sinatra almost got killed, but the mob saved him. But he was the front man for Cal Neva. It's a hotel and casino that's right on the border of California and Nevada, hence the name Cal Neva. And on that very same trip, Paul Sturgeon took me on. Michael Bowers was posting some pictures. He's up there with the Sturgeon family, I think, right now. But on the trip, you can also see the house where they filmed Godfather 2, the beginning of Godfather 2, where Michael almost gets killed in his bedroom. Where they have the christening for his son and Gil Spradlin, who plays the greatest bad guy in the world. I love you can't see Gil Spradlin. He was he was the coach in One-on-One. He's the coach. He plays like a Tom Landry like coach in 40 Acres and a Mule. 40 times 10 is 30. What's the movie with Nick Nolte and Mac Davis? 40 Days and 40 Nights. What's the damn movie called? It was written by Peter Gent, who played one of the Dallas Cowboys. That's why it's based. That's why Spradlin plays like a Tom Landry type guy, and they're all about the system. And Nick Nolte plays Peter Gent, who's kind of this disaffected, pot smoking wide receiver. And Mac Davis, old country singer, plays the quarterback, and he's brilliant. And nobody really knew him as an actor then. You can't find that?
Blue Chips?
No, that's a basketball movie with Shaq. What's the matter with you? It's a football movie. Oh, somebody's coming in. Oh, Matt Riley's got it. North Dallas 40.
Just found it right now.
Thank you, Matt. I told you 40 Days in a Mule. Somehow, who knows? Great picture, though. Great picture.
I think I've actually seen this one.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, dude, you got to see it. It's a great picture. Although you wouldn't appreciate it as much because you didn't really grow up with the Tom Landry Cowboys. Your only knowledge of the Cowboys is probably Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, for the most part.
But Spradlin plays a great Landry character, and it's a great finish. I just love G.E. Spradlin. He's in Apocalypse Now. He's the one that gives Martin Sheen his assignment. And do you know who else? Have you seen Apocalypse Now?
Yeah.
Do you know who else is in that scene? Who's a young beginning actor? It's a scene where they're in like a trailer, and Martin Sheen has just gone through his drunken binge where he was literally drunk on set, and Francis Ford Coppola got him drunk and got him all worked up and got him to act crazy, and he hits the glass, the mirror, and breaks his hand. That was all real live stuff. In fact, Martin Sheen had a heart attack filming that scene, and they had to stop shooting for a while. And so then they clean him up. The MPs come. He thinks he's going to jail. And they clean him up. They take him to his trailer. And G.D. Spradlin is there. And he gives him his assignment to go up the river and go kill Marlon Brando. And a young Harrison Ford plays one of the lieutenants that is in that room. It's kind of weird to go back and see old movies like that and see, God, that looks like Indiana Jones. That is Indiana. That's Harrison Ford. I never realized, because when you saw it then, nobody knew who Harrison Ford was. 1970, I don't know, 6, whenever it came out. I was like 9th, 10th grade when I saw that. I remember I almost puked when they cut the cow. The scene where they
79.
79. So I was a senior, junior in high school. And they chopped the head off the ox. I almost lost it. I am rambling. Let's take a break. 842-5376, 842-KERN. We'll come back and check the board, see what you all are talking about. I don't know. I didn't really want to talk about the Texas thing. I just wanted to criticize folks that are demanding answers about warning signals. And imagine a wave of water 3 football fields wide coming through a community. That is just unimaginable. In Rio Doso, New Mexico, they only had 3 dead, so it's not getting as much attention as Texas. But have you seen the time-lapse photo of the business where the water rose so quickly that the equipment and all the stuff in the office rose right up to the ceiling, right up to the camera within minutes? They experienced 8 inches of rain in 80 minutes, a little over an hour. I'm telling you, if you don't believe in climate change at this point, there's something cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs going on inside your skull. I mean, you just got to admit something different is happening to this planet. Quick timeout. It's the Ralph Bailey Show. Michael Turnipseed at the top of the hour. Daniel Petrie at 4:30. We'll talk about the former president's position, taking the fifth, not answering questions about one of the greatest cover-ups in American history. Quick break. It's the Ralph Bailey Show, News Talk 96.1, AM 1180, KERN. We're streaming live at kernradio.com.
News Talk 96.
You want to do KC?
RN. Start your day right. First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m.
On the Friday edition of the First Look program, we'll have the latest from this horrific story unfolding down there in Texas. And by the way, with intermittent interruptions for now flooding in New Mexico, we'll talk about that. We got news, we got traffic, we got weather. It's all happening 6 to 9 a.m. right here at News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
You know, oddly, one of the things that I rarely talk about when I talk about KC Steakhouse is lunch. If you work downtown, if you work for the county or wherever on Truxton, it's not very far and it's real quick and it's very convenient. And the menu is similar, just smaller portions, and it is outstanding. And the variety on the menu that Chef Daniel has put together now is simply unbelievable. It's mostly a large groups that come to Casey Steakhouse. Not everybody's feeling red meat to celebrate someone's birthday or an anniversary or whatever the event may be. And that's why Chef Daniel has advanced the menu. So there's Italian food. I love the fettuccine Alfredo with chicken. The lobster mac and cheese is everybody's favorite. The fish dishes, the mahi-mahi, the swordfish, the halibut. Where would you rather be than on F Street? And don't forget about the Stockyard next door for meetings, banquets, or just having dinner and having some of the craft cocktails that are served next door. It's Casey's Steakhouse, longtime sponsors of the Ralph Bailey Show.
You're great at protecting your personal information. You might even use things like two-factor authentication and strong passwords. But as much as you try to control how your info is protected, there are other places that also have it, and they may not be as careful. That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed, or your money back. Save 40% your first year with my name Clay as the promo code at lifelock.com. Terms apply.
No one wants to leave behind stress for their family. That's why a trust or a will is so important. Without one, your assets might go to the wrong people or leave out loved ones. Also, probate is long, expensive, and often avoidable with a revocable trust. Trustandwill.com makes it simple to create a personalized estate plan. A trust or will provides clarity and peace of mind. Get 20% off on your estate plan documents by visiting trustandwill.com/radio.
This is a special notice to U.S. taxpayers owing $10,000 or more to the IRS. Tax Relief Advocates is urgently notifying taxpayers that tax relief initiatives are now available that may significantly reduce or eliminate what you owe. If you're afraid of an IRS lien, levy, or wage garnishment, don't lose hope. You can now take advantage of these current relief programs to end all collections, reduce the amount you owe, and resolve your tax problem. Even if you have years of unfiled tax returns or are already in a payment plan, you may still qualify for significant relief. Struggling taxpayers can now get relief they need during these hard economic times. A hotline has been established by Tax Relief Advocates for you to call and see what you qualify for. They are A+ rated with the BBB and have over 1,000 5-star reviews. Don't wait. Call 800-575-7147. 800-575-7147. That's 800-575-7147 or simply visit TRA.com.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
You're listening to The Ralph Bailey Show. Catch me weekday morning 6 to 9 a.m. on First Look with Scott Cox, News Talk 96.1 at AM 1180 KERN.
Yeah. I know, all right. And wait for Chris to get off the phone. He was right about the DC Marvel thing. The movies that I mentioned were Warner Brothers, which is part of DC. All right, so you were right about the movies I mentioned.
Dang, Skippy.
Whatever. They were part of Warner Brothers, which is part of DC.
It's actually owned by
Warner Brothers. And it's Minecraft movie, Sinners, Final Destination, Bloodlines, and F1.
All those are going against the Marvel movie.
Yes.
God.
That's all part of DC or Warner Brothers. I got it mixed up. Whatever. I'm excited. That's what I'm going to do. Start at Mexicali. Have a little, maybe the burger. Can't have the shrimp and nachos, unfortunately. Gout. And then head over to Maya for a matinee and check out Superman. Stay out of the heat. Don't have to run my air conditioning all day. Because at 3, 4 in the afternoon at 106, even I've got it at like 79. And it's kicking on. Like when I first get in the house at 6:30 and I kick it on at 79, 79, I mean 79. I have 69 on my head, I guess. I don't know what I'm thinking about. It stays on for like, because it's like 84 degrees in my house when I get home at 6:30. So 3, 4 in the afternoon, that AC is pumping, Jack. And this is when we were like at, 100, 106. It'll be 85 degrees in my house by 3, 4 in the afternoon. Please stand by, Mark Swain.
Yeah, there's
Is
a
he
reason
still-
I'm going to the beach this weekend. So
Where are you going?
Carpinteria.
Damn. I was going to say something, but I won't. Where am I? Where's Swain? Oh, geez, he's stuck. He took a picture of the freeway. Yeah, it's still moving slowly. It really is. That's too bad. But all signs of this thing's going to be good. Very excited. Very excited. 842-5376, 842-KERN. What do you got?
49 Larry.
Hey, by the way, I don't want to hear from 49 Larry. He's been suspended. I'm not going to ban him, but he's suspended for 3 months. How in the world can you call into a show that on a day when I was sitting at home writhing in pain and literally turned it on when he was talking to JR? Let me just see what JR's up to today. This is his birthday, and I was going to call in, which I did. And I'm listening. Well, let's get rid of Bailey, and then I can come and do a show, and you can do a show. We'll be in one big, but we just get rid of Bailey. And then the next day, I show up to work, and he's like, I want to come and talk to you, Ralph. Hi, how are you? Good to see you. No. You call for my departure. You can say I'm stupid. You can say I disagree with you. You're an idiot. But you can't say get rid of me and then like want to come on a show and chit chat. You didn't suspend Larry. In fact, we're not going to go any further until you turn the radio. Let's go, Larry. Go listen to somebody else. I'm the idiot. Should be fired. Get going. We're not going to move. I'll wait till term seed gets here if I have to. Anyway, do you know who Trinity Rodman is?
Related to Dennis?
Yes. Do you know? I don't mean to put this as crudely as I'm about to put it, but do you know who she's sleeping with?
Oh, Lord. Oh, I do not.
Ben Shelton. We've got a Wimbledon theme or a tennis theme today. That's his girlfriend. The cute little
Dennis's daughter?
mixed. Yes.
That's Dennis's daughter.
Yes. Because they're making a big deal because when he got his butt whipped by Sinner, they were doing more shots of him than they used to do for Al Davis. And I guess she's been part of the story at Wimbledon, and they've asked her a bunch of questions about her father, and she finally went on X, because that's that generation's way of communicating with the world, and said, enough about my dad. He's basically a deadbeat dad. He's got a good heart, but he shows up every couple of years. He's never been a father to me, and I'm tired of answering questions about it. I'm like, damn. I don't know how kids grow up without that parental support from two parents. I just don't. If you look at some of the greatest athletes of all time, I mean, like the greatest athletes of all time, I think LeBron is like the only exception. Magic grew up in a two-parent home. Bird grew up in a two-parent home. Jordan grew up in a two-parent home. That's why Last Dance is more fascinating than the Magic Bird documentary, because they get all into the day his dad was shot. Then they get into, was because of Michael's gambling. And then that classic scene where Jordan is laying in the locker room, holding the trophy, lying on the floor, crying like a baby, because it's the first championship he's ever won without his dad. But how these kids grow up without parents, and I don't know why I was surprised by that. Like, I know y'all are screaming at your radio. Really, Ralph, you're surprised that Dennis Rodman is a deadbeat dad? I don't know why I was. You're right. I thought he was deep down a good guy. I thought he got old maybe and settled down. Got a beautiful, and apparently Randizzle tells me she's incredibly talented. It's like one of the best women's soccer players in the world, apparently. But she's dating the young American tennis player, Ben Shelton. Kid who, in a year or two, might be vying for some major championships, but he ain't ready yet. He's not in Alcaraz or Sinners League yet. We head into the 4 o'clock hour. We're going to talk with Michael Turnipseed, bottom of the hour, our money man, Daniel Petrie. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
This is AM 1180 KERN. Green Acres. This is 96.1 FM. Bakersfield. Online at KERNradio.com.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Authorities continue to search for survivors of deadly flooding in the Texas Hill Country. Andrews County Assistant Fire Marshal Jeremy Prophet says crews are taking turns searching for flood victims.
We have crews from Mexico here. We have crews from Canada that have come in and are assisting us. And every week it'll be cycling through. Every day we see cycles of different departments coming in.
Search crews and volunteers are continuing to scour miles along the Guadalupe River for the people still missing. The floods are now the deadliest from inland flooding in the U.S. since 1976. Texas isn't the only state dealing with deadly flooding. New Mexico officials are promising help for residents caught in flash flooding this week.
New Mexico Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham says that with the federal disaster declaration,
must be nice to have money.
I don't know that money.
Whose place is that? Exactly.
I don't got no money. That's their money.
Okay, it's good to come from money.
Or at least have somebody who knows somebody who has money.
And I can't turn on Facebook without seeing Bowers and Lake Tahoe with Paul Sturgeon. I must have done something wrong. They took me up there about 5 years ago on my birthday. And dude, it is fucking so nice. I mean,
Where you were sick as a fucking dog, though? I thought you said that you went and like something was wrong where you felt like you had. Oh no, that was the
Mammoth.
That was Mammoth. Yeah.
where I got elevation sickness.
Yeah.
No, this was a perfect trip. It was my birthday. It took me to dinner. Got off shit face and went and played bucks, $150 playing poker. I had a great time. Never been invited back. I'm like, fuck. Every time I see Paul,
At townhall.com.
If you're living with
post like this, then bing, you blow their brains all over your nice Ivy League suit.
It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Now make sure you leave the house when you make the call. You understand me? You hear me? Call from an outside line. I mean it.
Call in or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Hour 2 of the broadcast on this Thursday, 10th day of July. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. We stream live at KERNradio.com and we broadcast live at YouTube Kern Radio. Somebody says that there are 100 viewers watching the broadcast. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but I think we had like 60 something yesterday.
We have 9 viewers at the moment.
9?
9, yeah, currently.
Why is he saying?
Maybe he's saying he's the 100th subscriber.
What does that mean?
We have subscribers on YouTube as well. You can
So there are 9 people watching us?
Currently, yes. But over the amount of the show, it usually picks up to about 60 to 70.
Yeah, it was 61 yesterday when I turned it off.
Just people turn it off, come back in and out. You know what
9?
Woo! We hit 100.
Yeah, see, there it is. That's what it is.
Now, what does that mean? We have 100 subscribers?
Yeah, you subscribe to the channel.
We have 101, actually.
So I should be asking them to subscribe,
Yes.
not just listen.
You want to subscribe to the channel, Kern Radio.
Is that why it takes me 5 minutes to find the video?
And then there's
Because I'm not a subscriber?
There's a notification there. Yeah, you see.
I don't even subscribe to my own channel. It takes me 5 minutes. On your birthday. On your birthday, it took me like 10 minutes to get to the show. I was like, what the? It kept sending me to blogs and all kind of. That was JR, by the way. Nobody picked up on that. It's a Thursday. Time to bring in the executive director of Kern Tax, Michael Turnipseed. Oh, it's like, where's Waldo? Where do we find you now, Mr. Absent Guest?
Well, if you should just peg my phone and you could find out wherever I go and you can report live.
That's not a bad idea. I'll sneak something into your car
My
next.
wife has that on our phone and our daughters, and one daughter turned it off, the other one leaves it on, so she knows where we are all the time.
Yeah, next time you really show up, I'm going to throw a phone in your car and monitor where you are.
That's how you do it, and they can tell you exactly where I am.
That's how women catch most men. Tell you that right now. That's how they catch them. And they're popping up at a Motel 6 and they come rolling up. Just saying. Let's talk baseball. Your god awful stinky smellies are coming to town tomorrow for 3. And I just found out today that the All-Star game is going to play with the automated umpire, well, the automated appeal, where each team will get 2 appeals. The appeal can only come from the pitcher, the catcher, or the hitter. They've got to tap their helmet. They'll take a look at the strike zone. But Tim Kirchin was on PTI with Tony Kornheiser and Michael Bowers, Michael Landon, Michael Wilbon. And Kirchin is reporting the players don't want it, don't like it, because it's not up to the manager, it's up to them. And they're saying, Kirchin is saying to many of the sources that he's talked to, so many of the players will strike out and think it was outside the strike zone and then go to the clubhouse and look and like, damn, that really was a strike. So they don't want anything to do with it because they're afraid they'll get it wrong. And now you're down a challenge. And I don't know. What do you think of this? Is my question.
I think that shouldn't be a players, because I'm sure in the dugout there's a screen somewhere and they're looking at it. And with the little box there, the batter can't really tell. It's got to be somebody looking at the screen, looking at the little box you see there now. And as you know, and we've seen balls that are a foot outside that have been called strike threes. And if you can't do anything about it, I mean, there's been some ridiculous calls, especially, what was the guy's name? Angel Hernandez.
Yes. He was like the poster child. In fact, I once heard a commentator, let's say Burdick was behind the plate. I once heard a commentator say that was what's his name? Angel. That was an Angel Hernandez call. I was like, damn, that's harsh.
See, I've been saying they had to bring Hernandez back for this game just so they could show.
He wasn't even on the crew. They made an allusion to Angel Hernandez. I was like, that must suck to be infamous. But now they rate these guys. They give them like a percentage of right and wrongs. And the one guy that was the best was the guy that they just suspended because they suspected he was gambling or throwing games, and he's like the one that had like a 92% correct rate. I don't know why.
That's been around for a long time, that page. I remember going to it because somebody told me about it. And you go look, and they rank at home. It's being called balls and strikes. I mean, I don't know if they rate the first base umpires and everybody rotates around, but they call the balls and strikes. So they've had that little box for a long time.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you're at 90%, I mean, the ball's coming 100 miles an hour, moving, and some of the way the balls curve, like a slider, a hard slider, it can drop 6 inches in like a foot.
Yeah.
Looks like. And I can see why you get the low pitches high, but what I can't see is the chest, the upper high strikes. Some of us never call a high. That's where I see most of them being missed. They won't call a high strike. It's right on the line, but they'll call one that's 2 inches below the bottom line. That's the ones I see the most. The ones that are at the bottom, and they're a little on the outside, but they're still the lower pitchers are the ones they seem to are really balls that are called strikes.
Well, when I was growing up, they didn't call anything above around the chest. In the 70s and the 80s, if you a little higher than the belt, but you're right, around the chest, you never got that pitch. I think I see the most errors on outside inside, where the pitcher will throw it 3 inches off the plate outside, and they'll call it a strike. It's like, what? I don't think they should go to the automated thing. I think they should look at everything else, but I think it should still be up to the umpires in terms of balls and strikes. And did you see
the appeal thing? You just got to judge it like football. You got so many challenges in this game. You don't want to throw that flag and not have it in the fourth quarter when you need it.
Well, football can't even get it right. They should expand their replay, if you ask me. I think that pass interference should be involved. I don't think holding should be involved. You could call that every down. But pass interference, I think you should be able to look at that. It's crazy.
They should. Holding is so blatant. I look at it, and it's so blatant. They should do away with holding.
No, you're going crazy.
Well, you can see them hook people. They're getting beat up, especially the tackles. They'll hook a guy who'd get around and get a sack on a key third down play, and they hold him. He doesn't get there, and they make their first down or they make a touchdown. And those are the ones that I'm saying, golly, right in front of you, ump. He blatantly tackled the guy. I mean, grabbing the jersey, that happens on every play. Anyway.
Well, you're allowed to grab the jersey. They'll let you grab the jersey. It's when he starts to get away from you and you're still holding on to him is when they call it. But if you keep your hands in tight, you can grab the chest jersey. But like I said, when he starts to get away from you, these guys, for some reason, right in front of the ref, won't let go. And I guess I understand why. You got to keep Patrick Mahomes standing. And if you got to take a penalty once or twice, you do it. You're not gonna.
I think that's the way they look at it.
That's exactly the way they look at it.
They don't give up like I hold because they're not going to call. Probably at the most you'll see 3 in the NFL, 3 holding calls, maybe 2 maybe. in a game?
It depends on the crew.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not very many.
I think it's too many.
Interference is the one I think is that's the one that I think defensive backs are getting more and more freedom to play than they used to. It used to be you looked at them wrong and you get an interference call. Now you're hitting them early and you're there tackling them before the ball even gets there. It's just, and it depends which team you're watching. Of course, your team doesn't make any penalties.
Yeah.
The Raiders have never committed a penalty in the.
Yeah. Whatever. I made an allusion to PTI. I think it's the best sports show on television with Tony Kornheiser and Michael Wilbon, two former newspaper guys who grew up together on the Washington Post. And it's just the absolute best sports show on television. It's one of the few sports shows that talks about every sporting event, like First Take and Speak with Joy Taylor. It's all football, basketball. They won't talk about Wimbledon. They won't talk about golf. And these guys talk about everything that happens in sports. And they were talking about one of the most dramatic plays I've ever seen. I hate to admit it, but of course it happened in that kooky damn park of yours, where it's just weird configurations and they got that stupid brick wall out there. And down 3 in the bottom of the 9th, a catcher, my young son, Patrick Bailey, hits a ball off that damn brick wall. It careens to left field, and he gets a catcher gets a walk-off inside the park home run. It's probably the most, I hate to admit, because it was the Sinky Smellies, it's probably the most exciting plays I've ever seen in baseball. And it's all because of that kooky thing. And the point I'm trying to make that I'm going to get to is they came back to Wilbon, and he said, well, it's that stadium. It's like the old 30s and 40s stadium. They've configured it so brilliantly. And it's up there in the top 4 stadiums in the country. The Wrigley, Fenway, whatever that place is called, Qualcomm, and I'll throw in Yankee Stadium. And I'm like, Wilbon, are you serious? Aren't you forgetting the second oldest state or third oldest stadium in the world? How can you not put Dodger Stadium in the top 5 of greatest ballparks ever? You know?
I saw one of the top 10 and
top 10
experiences. No, they had the top 10 for going to games, and Dodger Stadium was in the top 10.
Top 10? What? Are you kidding me?
Well, the amenities.
Other than I will give up Wrigley. I've never been there, but there's something special about it. I'll even give you Fenway, but I'm not going to give you the new Yankee Stadium. I'd have given you one that Ruth and Mantle and DiMaggio played in. And I've been to Qualcomm or whatever the hell that box is called up there in San Francisco. I just didn't like it. Didn't like it. And a game's not supposed to end because it hits a brick wall and careens into the left field. Yellow.
Well, probably.
Is there a delay on this?
20-some years they played there. The spot it hit, and it was. I watched the replay last night because it's the 3rd time in Major League history that a catcher has had an inside the park home run.
Never a walk-off.
You didn't know that.
I did know that. In fact, the last time it happened, I believe, was 1925. Thank you.
Catchers were faster in those.
I guess so. This Patrick Bailey's a stud.
The center fielder was running so hard for the ball, and it just hit that. It's in the right field corner, and it just hit, and it boomed up. And you're right. He had to hit it so hard. It didn't go 50 feet. It went all the way to left field.
And I was going to say,
the third base by the time the outfielder picked the ball up to throw it in.
Well, it was the left fielder who overran it because the center fielder, you can't blame him. He's running after the ball. He thinks I might catch it. But it's the left fielder, and you can't really blame him either because how is he supposed to stay in left field? Oh, I'm going to play the carom? No, your natural instinct is run to the ball. And, outfielders aren't used to having brick walls out in left center field. God, I hate that place. And the lobster sandwich is completely overrated.
Oh, well. Where else do you look at the Bay?
Okay, I'll give you McCovey Cove. I went out there and checked it out. I swear this is a true story. There was a dude in a dragon costume surfing out in McCovey Cove.
In a kayak.
No, he's on a surfboard. He was on a surfboard and an oar, and he had a dragon costume on. And I was like, this is why I visit San Francisco, and I could never live in this kooky ass town.
Yeah.
And I grew up in LA. Shoot. But it's not as kooky. It's not as kooky as the Bay, Jack. Not as kooky as the Bay.
Absolutely, Ralph.
I will leave you with this. Coming up at the 5, I'm going to talk about Kevin O'Connor, the Biden's doctor, not testifying, taking the fifth. And this is becoming one of the greatest scandals in American history, is it not? Whether or not they covered up his lack of mental acuity.
I read the stories. I read what he said. He took the fifth, but actually, I don't think with medical laws in the United States of America under HIPAA, I think he couldn't have said anything anyway.
But as we will learn in the 5, when I play the audio of James Comer, the head of the House Oversight Committee, they weren't questions about his health. They were questions like, were you told not to say anything? Did you doubt his mental acuity to be a president? Shouldn't we know stuff like that?
Well, I when I read the story, I didn't watch the video. But when he said he took the fifth on medical questions, I said, well, he didn't want to get sued under HIPAA laws.
Well, tune in to 5 and hear Comer. It's their basic questions he could have answered. I think this is one of the great cover-ups of all time. I mean, we saw it. It's the old Richard Pryor joke.
Even compare it to Woodrow Wilson, Helen Wilson.
Well, it might, if we dig into this and find out that he had nothing to do and he wasn't calling the shots, and it might not be Jill Biden like it was Mrs. Wilson that was running the country, but somebody was, and it wasn't Uncle Fluffy, who was
probably his wife, just like Mrs. Wilson.
I doubt it. Have you ever seen the movie Dave?
I did. I watched it a couple of times. I enjoyed it. It's funny.
It is funny.
The guy off the street looked like the president, so he played the president.
Kevin Kline ran the country while the guy had a stroke, stroking one of his secretaries. And I think that's what we had going on in D.C. I don't think he was making the major decisions. I think they had a small committee of his kitchen cabinet that circled the wagons. And unfortunately, and this is what's crazy about this, and this is why it should be investigated, I think one of the big inputters was who, Michael Turnipseed?
His wife.
No, keep going.
What, chief of staff?
Hunter.
Hunter?
Apparently, Hunter was in the Situation Room. It's like, what? The crack addict? The guy that left the coke down the hall is in the Situation Room? I think it was Hunter that was in his ear and telling him what to do. And his mama probably played a little role as well. But this is why this has got to be investigated. What say you?
I think absolutely. They're investigating a lot of stuff now.
Yeah.
And the FBI's coming out with their shooting on the Secret Service came out today, and 6 guys got suspended.
We're going to talk about that as well.
They're investigating everything.
Good.
But I think from what the responsibility the day it happened was Secret Service on every time they visit a town, they don't have the people to do everything. So they gave responsibility to local authorities, and that building was in the local authority neighborhood to take care of.
And apparently the state cops notified the Secret Service that somebody had spotted crooks on top of that building.
I hadn't heard that.
Yeah.
I know. I understood that one of the police saw him, but I didn't hear that they notified the Secret Service.
Yeah, that's what I heard. And I heard the real problem is the dance team, radio communication, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Can you imagine
Technology fails you sometimes, Ralph.
Yeah.
How many people are watching us, listening to you right now on YouTube?
Not many, apparently.
We ran them all off talking baseball, huh?
I don't
Now we're
know.
up to 15.
Oh, it's up to 15. Went from 9 to 15.
Hey, that's good. We doubled your crowd.
I guess so. All right, Michael. Have
You're out.
a great weekend. We're not talking to you next week as well, huh?
Yeah, no, I have family business that day.
All right. We'll talk to you again. All right. See you.
Bye-bye.
Michael Turnipseed, quick break. Not a lot of time before we get Daniel Petrie in here. Don't go anywhere.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Friday edition, Clay Travis, Buck Sexton show. We will dive into the absolute latest on the MAHA movement with our friend FDA Commissioner Dr. Marty Makary, and former FBI agent Nicole Parker will join us to talk about what she thinks is going on. Friday edition on Clay and Buck.
The Clay Travis and Buck Sexton show. Live 9 to noon. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
It's that man again, Ralph Bailey for Sangera Subaru. Good news, the 2025 Subaru Solterra finally here. And the 2025 Subaru Solterra is an IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus. Right now, you can lease a brand new 2025 Solterra Premium SST for just $299 a month for 36 months and zero due at signing. That's right, nothing but your John Hancock on a brand new EV. Subaru Solterra comes standard with symmetrical all-wheel drive. So go test drive the new Solterra at Sangera Subaru. And of course, just ask my good friends Damon Culbertson and Hassan Levy about all the great Subaru vehicles for 2025. Sangera Subaru, located at 5500 Gasoline Alley Drive in the Bakersfield Auto Mall, or 24/7 at sangerasubaru.com. Sangera Subaru, paving the way for a better community.
Through July 25, lease a 2025 Solterra Premium SST for $299 a month on a 36-month lease. Zero due at lease signing plus tax and license. Zero security deposit. 7,500 mile year limit. 15 cent per mile overage. MSRP $41,656. VIN number SA-095326. Model code SED-11.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
I'm JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, weekdays at 2 p.m. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
We're gonna talk about the 6 Secret Service agents getting suspended and get into Butler in the 5 o'clock hour. And when I was putting this on the rundown, I was thinking, and because they're playing this up big on television, the investigation, the suspension, and in fact, I think it's either Fox or CNN is doing a documentary on the shooting. I think it must be Fox, where they're getting into who Thomas Crooks was, the kid, the shooter. And I was thinking, maybe I'm not giving you guys enough credit. Maybe it's just me. But every time I think of Butler, the first thing I think of just how lucky the president was. And how, this would have been bigger than the Zapruder film had he been shot. And then I realized, Ralph, you're forgetting someone died that day. And the widow is livid the way the Secret Service has responded to her, not giving her any answers as to why this guy was able to get on that roof. And she was part of this whole examination. She was in tears on Fox this morning. It's a horrible story. Back half of the 4 o'clock hour. It's a Thursday. Our money man, Daniel Petrie, will join us. Stock market went out the roof today. We'll talk about that next with DP right here on the Ralph Bailey Show. Don't go anywhere.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
with SRN News. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. A retired nurse, her son, and a family friend say they were fortunate to survive last week's flash floods in Texas. They killed more than 100 people, including many summer campers. Jane Towler says she got a call at about 4 a.m. last Friday from a friend in a neighboring cabin, telling her the Guadalupe River was rising quickly and to get to safety. Towler ran next door to warn her son, their family friend, and the woman's young daughter. A federal judge in New Hampshire says he'll certify a class action lawsuit, including all children who will be affected by President Trump's executive order ending birthright citizenship, and issue a preliminary injunction blocking it. On Wall Street, the Dow up by 192 points, the Nasdaq rose 19. More details at srnnews.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm Bill Robbins. A 37-year-old man accused of getting his daughter's 16-year-old friend pregnant has been sentenced to 3 years in prison. He reportedly pleaded no contest to unlawful sexual intercourse. The girl, believed to be a runaway, moved into a home in Northwest Bakersfield that Jacob Raw shared with his daughter. She'd been the daughter's best friend for a year before the start of her relationship with Raw. Investigators later seized the teen's journal, where she said she was pregnant and named Raw as the father. A 1-year-old child reported missing last Sunday has been found. Charlie Mercer was seen in the company of his father, Clinton Lovelace, at around 5 p.m. Sunday in the 3700 block of M Street. Charlie has since been found and is safe. I'm Bill Robbins in the KERN Newsroom with news every half hour or when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Hey, this is JR for Bakersfield Weight Loss. Let's talk about GLP-1s like semaglutides, those weight loss injections that seem to be all the rage these days. If you're currently using semaglutides injections but aren't seeing the results you want, or you've hit a plateau, don't worry. The team at Bakersfield Weight Loss is ready to help you speed up your results safely and effectively. Maybe you had to stop taking the injections due to side effects, or your insurance no longer covered your treatment, or even worse, you gained the weight back. Don't give up. Go to BakersfieldWeightLoss.com. What you don't hear about these injections, many people are facing failed results, bad side effects, rising costs, or simply want to get off the injections. At Bakersfield Weight Loss, they offer a breakthrough natural approach to help reset your metabolism to get the weight off fast and easy and keep it off without exercising, prepackaged foods, or counting calories. They helped me do it. I lost 25 pounds and have kept the weight off. Schedule your free consultation today at BakersfieldWeightLoss.com or call 661-449-1150. Results may vary.
On the next Armstrong and Getty show, the move to ban Chinese purchases of farmland near our military bases is moving forward, thank goodness. Plus, the perfect workout review from science. And it's legit.
And measles cases in the U.S., highest level in 30 years. Lots of whooping cough around. Is this something to be concerned about?
Oh, sorry.
Weekdays noon to 2.
Can they hear that? Yeah,
News Talk
obviously.
96.1
Dumb
and
question.
AM 1180
Sorry about that. For the 15 people that are watching, I clapped in their ear.
on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show.
It's a Thursday. Time to end the 21st and the offices of Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors. What's really going on?
How are you doing, Ralph?
I am better. I'm still dragging my left foot around and a little
know.
pain. I just took some Motrin, but
I heard it through the grapevine that you had gout.
we've known each other for 20 years, and you're just learning this?
Well, and see, maybe it's my naivete because I know you had it in the past.
Yeah, and then I lost the weight and didn't have it for like 5 years. That's why I got off all the meds. And then it started popping up occasionally, but didn't really have any bad bouts. And I was having some trouble Thursday and Friday of last week. And then I woke up Saturday morning and I literally couldn't put any weight on my left foot.
Now, what causes the issue? I mean,
It's
I know
the
what
foods that you eat that create uric acid that are like crystals that build up in your joints.
So
And
you
it-
must have just done it over a period of time, and
Yeah, I've been eating that fettuccine Alfredo that I love at Casey Steakhouse, and that Alfredo sauce is just exactly what you're not supposed to eat. I had some shrimp nachos at Mexicali about a week or two ago, and I'm supposed to stay away from shellfish. But I just got into this pattern over the years of eating whatever I wanted, and I was fine.
Sure.
But now I've got to go back to the old days where I've got to just pay attention to what I'm eating.
Well,
And
old habits die hard because I did it yesterday and I'm fine. I
Yeah.
go tomorrow, and then all of a sudden you're into a routine that's going to raise. I didn't know. I mean, I have heard of gout and I know the issue, but I didn't know that once you have it, you're always susceptible.
Oh, yeah.
Or it's gone, so I don't have it anymore unless something happens. But
And I had it as a young. I was in my 40s when I first had it, which is not typical.
Right.
And my boys, Chris Zucchini and Mike area, used to make fun of me, literally, because that's what we do. We bust each other's balls.
Right.
And then they got into their 50s and they both got it.
Oh my!
And I was like, secretly, look at you. Look at you now. Mm-hmm.
Now, is there anybody else in your family who has it?
Well, my dad died young, so I don't know. My mother doesn't have it.
Yeah.
But I'm going to do what those guys have smartly done and just get on the allopurinol on the daily, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, that staves it off. It doesn't help once you get it. Colchicine is about all that'll help once you have it. And I tried ODing on colchicine Monday.
Oh my!
You're supposed to take one a day. I took 6.
Well, I don't know if that's a good idea either.
No, it really wasn't.
Gout, but I'm no longer living.
I spent all of Tuesday throwing up, literally from about 10 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock at night.
Ralph, what is wrong with you?
I don't know.
I mean, besides the obvious.
No, I'm an idiot. No, I'm an absolute idiot. Yeah, I took 2 every 4 hours. And then the next day it was not good. It was not good. And that's not the only symptom or side effect, but you don't want to hear about it, believe me.
No, I think it's probably good we don't go there.
Yeah. Stocks went out the roof today, did they not?
They were up.
Up?
Yeah.
I heard the description was out the roof from Martha McCallum.
No, I mean S&P was up 1/4 point. I mean nothing. It's 17 points. It's nothing. That's like a small up day. Now they have been doing well, and are they at all-time highs or new all-time highs? They got to be close if they're not there already. So
I don't know. I didn't watch the story, but the tease was market out the roof. I was like, okay, I'll talk about that with Daniel.
yeah, no, I don't see it that way. But
It's like breaking
I
news.
mean, in general,
I don't know.
I guess you could make an argument that yes, after they've made a wonderful recovery and they're at all-time highs after the whole dadgummit. What was April?
April 2,
Yeah, what do they call that?
Freedom Day or Liquidation Day or Liberation Day.
Liberation
Day. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Sorry, I couldn't remember the term he used.
Well, the economy is sailing along, is it not?
We are doing okay. I looked because when I'm about ready to do your show, I always kind of look and see what the market is pricing in now. Almost 3 cuts by the end of the year.
By Jerome Powell?
Yeah, 3/4 point cuts. I had it up. Let me go to my trusty website. Sorry.
Fed chair, by the way, for the folks that don't know.
Yeah,
Jerome Powell.
Fed chair. There will be 2 cuts with the possibility. I mean, a third one is starting to get a little bit priced in, but for a while there, it was 2, and then we may not get 2, and now we're back to pricing in 2. So I don't know if that's uncertainty with some of the policies and what will happen, or is it, wow, we're really expecting, or it could just be they hung on to rates too high for too long, and the Fed always tends to, in my opinion, be behind the curve and
Right.
overdo it in each direction.
Yeah.
And to me, that exacerbates the up and down we get, because money drives You flood money into the system, and wow, the economy looks good. But
Yeah.
then you can have some poor consequences of that, and vice versa on the other side. So,
What are the new tariffs that the president's talking about, and what impact is that going to have?
well,
Or I guess it's an extension. I don't know what
it's very
it
hard
is.
to
Or
keep track of what
yeah,
exactly. I saw the talk, and I saw the. I think this is what I think is happening. I think he's putting that out there. It's like, okay, these trade talks are taking too long, and if you guys don't start getting things done, then I'm because the deadline is August 1st, is it not? I think.
I don't know, and I don't care because I'll be on vacation the following week.
Well, and who knows? Between them, they could come off and on and off and then on again. I mean,
Right. Well, isn't that kind of the wacky genius of the whole damn thing?
Yes, in only Trump's way that Trump does.
Yeah.
Because remember, at first everybody panicked. Oh, these massive tariffs are going in. This is going to be terrible. And I think Trump was sitting back thinking, no, this is never going to happen. This is just negotiations. And then I think the market has now realized that they're negotiations. But then I think the market starts to think, well, it'll never happen. And I think that's foolish to think also. I mean, Trump isn't somebody who won't act. He's just trying to get you to act in the best way possible.
Right.
For America, in his opinion.
Yeah. It's crazy. I don't understand. I don't understand any of it.
Well, and think if you're an importer, exporter, or either or into one of these countries, how do you plan for? I don't know if you could. I mean, I guess what you would do is be extra conservative because you don't quite know what will happen, and that's not exactly good. But
right.
I don't think we've had a lot of the negative consequences, but you could argue, well, that's because they haven't been enacted yet. But once they're announced, people start to attempt to deal with it. So, you know, some of it, just like if the Fed's saying, hey, we're going to lower rates, boom, the market loves it.
Right.
Real rates have come down. They haven't done anything yet. They just announced it. So
yeah,
it is fascinating. I love the stuff, and I can go off for hours, but it doesn't really tell you exactly what will happen or what may happen because it's all a I hate to say a game because that sounds terrible, but it's all a calculated risk. How about that?
Talking with Daniel Petrie from Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors. His phone number 395-9400, 395-9400. Now the big beautiful bill is law. What impact is this going to have? Because I don't think, you know, everybody's afraid of Medicaid, and I am too. I'm worried about David Valadao up in the 22nd district where he's got 67% of folks on Medicaid. But there's a lot of good in the bill. I'm glad. I'm so relieved that my taxes are not going to go up next year.
Yeah.
And there's some other things that they've done. I think it's a decent bill. I just think it's going to be a battle of messaging going into the midterms,
which it always is. Yeah, I think it's better. It's more good than bad.
Yeah, exactly.
But we always seem to lose the messaging because they scare everybody about all these, you know, benefit programs. When in reality, I think it's a good thing that people shouldn't get free handouts, that shouldn't get them, or you should at least prove you're willing to work and trying to work before you get them. And if you deserve them, you should get them. But I see no problem with trying to correct or rein in the excess that seems to flow with government programs. But we'd never win that messaging, or it seems like we never win.
Well, the best argument that I've heard, we had Vince Fong on, and
I'm sorry, I missed that.
Yeah, it was great. He broke down basically the Medicaid is going to be insolvent along with Social Security.
Absolutely.
And everybody knows it.
But they don't care.
And yet we're running right into the iceberg. and not changing course. And this is what this is about. And you're right. If you're an illegal, undocumented person, I'm sorry, you should not be getting free everything from the government. It wasn't intended for that.
And especially not in front of someone who needs it, who is a citizen.
Yes.
Yeah.
The elderly, young pregnant women, things of this nature. It just, I don't understand. It's going to be a battle of the messaging. And I think Donald Trump's going to have to come out of here a couple of times to help Congressman Valadao.
Yeah, yeah. And, you know, we need to find somebody who delivers that message very well and just put them out there 24/7.
You know, because I think a lot of times Valadao is like, no, thank you, because it's such a purple district that he just kind of says, no, I don't need your help.
More than you'll help.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if that's the case this time.
Yeah, I would think that it's going to be difficult for him, so maybe he could take all the help he can get. And I don't necessarily view that the people in that district have that negative view of Trump.
No, Trump's numbers within the Republican Party right now are out the roof.
Yeah.
In fact, CNN just admitted that he's never had the type of numbers. He's always hung around the mid, maybe high 40s. He's in the low 50s with the country, and in like the 89, 90% with the Republican Party.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see if he does come out here or if Mr. Valadao asks him.
I think there's a couple reasons for that. One is he's authentic, which people are craving for on both sides of the aisle these days. And we finally got, call him whatever you want, populist, conservative, Republican, independent, whatever. He is finally someone who gets in there and does what, or attempts to do what he said he would do.
Yeah.
And how many politicians have I voted for where they promise one thing and they get in there and, well, we couldn't do it, or I can't do it, I have to work, you know, and they don't try, or they don't push hard back enough to show they're attempting to.
Well, that's why I've been so critical of the cabinet, because they made their first unforced error. It's a tennis theme today, Daniel. Wimbledon and everything. But I call this an unforced error. No, this is an unforced error, where Pam Bondi, for the first time in my viewpoint, looks incredibly stupid, handing out information that was already made public in these binders to these so-called influencers, and then going in February on Fox and saying, well, the list is on my desk and I just have to review it. And then coming out later and saying, well, I've never heard of Jeffrey Epstein.
There is
Don't know what you're talking about. And it just looks incredibly stupid. And then, you know, the Democrats, the liberals are playing up Trump interrupting Bondi yesterday and saying, y'all are still talking about Epstein? No, dude, you campaigned on Epstein.
Right.
You know, I don't know.
What really happened there?
Oh, the thing that I talked about yesterday is that Trump disengaged from Epstein long before he got into politics.
Correct.
But they won't talk about that.
No.
They won't talk about that.
No, I mean with the file. I mean, were there files, or I mean, it sure seems like there were. And why not? Why not release them? Maybe there's names in there that they don't want. Maybe that are influencer. I don't help me.
Well, there are all kind of theories. There's a theory that Epstein may have been working for the CIA or perhaps for the Israeli CIA, that he was an operative. And, you know, I don't think there was ever, he wasn't stupid enough to have a list.
Right.
But I'm sure he had some sort of Rolodex. And I'm sure there were some very interesting names in that Rolodex.
He's a big player.
Yeah. And how can you determine who was going down there to be with young girls and who just
And who was looking
had
for
an
20,000 for their latest?
yeah, or just who had an association with the guy like Trump.
Right.
But I don't
Bill
think
Gates. Yeah.
Trump's a freaky deaky, but I don't think he's into kids. That's
No.
crazy. That's
No,
crazy
and I think
because that's who you are.
that he would have said, "Get the heck away."
Yeah, pedophiles, they are who they are. They can't stop themselves. That's why it's the highest form of recidivism. It's who you are. It's not like, oh, I'm going to sleep with a 16-year-old. Oh, I'm not going to do that anymore. No, if you're attracted to children, or if you like to knock girls out and have sex with them like Dr. Cosby, that's your thing. That's who you are. Well, yeah, that's the point. It's who you are. So I don't think people don't dabble in pedophilia. It's who you are. You have to be a very sick, deranged guy, which reminds me of the local case where the guy slept with his daughter's pal, got her pregnant, and he got 3 years. 3 years
Yeah, that doesn't seem.
for impregnating a 16-year-old?
Street justice would do better in that regard, but
Or at least you got to at least do a 10 spot for something like that. Come on, 3 years.
well, it is odd that it seems like some of these penalties, because I'm like, he did what? And I'm like, yeah, and he's off with good, and I'm
3
like,
years.
Wait a minute, how can you? That doesn't make sense. He's guilty, but doesn't, almost like he didn't have to be punished for the crime.
Yeah. Let's leave with gold and silver because I'm running extremely late.
Uh-oh, sorry, we must have got off on
Yeah, I've been rambling all day.
Well, that's all right. Gout will do that to you, my friend.
Almost empty stomach and 2 cups of coffee will do that to you.
Coffee, yay.
Yeah.
Gold was just barely down. I think we were at 33.24 last I looked. That's only down about $6-7 from a week ago. The silver's at 37.15. I think that's the first time we've done this where it's been over 37
Yeah.
on the weekly, which was up. Up 30 cents, but still it was up. I think
Up is up. That's what we say in radio.
both of those are consolidating recent gains, moving sideways. They should head north again soon. And of course, the debt went up another 29, little bit higher than what we've been measuring, but basically 29 billion.
That is just statistically amazing that it's 29 billion every doggone week.
It fluctuates within like 100 million each week, but I mean, yeah, which is like what? Nothing. It's like a $5 bill.
Yeah, that's chump change, baby. That's chump change. You're talking about billions of dollars.
The numbers are astronomical. They're never going to do anything about it. The market will force this on them when we have a crisis.
Yeah.
Which is very unfortunate.
I agree. Always good to talk to you, sir. Have a wonderful weekend. Try to stay cool.
I will do my best, and you don't eat the stuff that gives you or take medicine, or do what you got to do to be healthy.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. All right. Talk to you next week.
Okay, bye-bye.
Daniel Petrie. Check him out. His office is located 21st and Oak. Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors specialize in retirement. I am a client now, going on a decade. Their phone number 395-9400, 395-9400. Not a lot of time before we get into the 5. We'll talk about Kevin O'Connor, the former president's doctor, who took the 5th before the House Oversight Committee. We'll talk about the agents at Butler, Pennsylvania, and recap our top story. There's an American female in the finals at Wimbledon, and perhaps a male. Haven't seen a female since Serena. Haven't seen a male in the finals in Wimbledon since Pete Sampras. Quick timeout. We're coming right back. It's the Ralph Bailey Show. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KRN. We're streaming live, kernradio.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Start your day right. First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m.
On the Friday edition of the First Look program, we'll have the latest from this horrific story unfolding down there in Texas. And by the way, with intermittent interruptions for now flooding in New Mexico, we'll talk about that. We got news, we got traffic, we got weather. It's all happening 6 to 9 a.m. right here at News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Look who's here. It's Gino Antonio Valpredo from Luigi's Restaurant and Old World Delicatessen. Gino, I call you the Michael Corleone of the family because you kind of stumbled into the family business.
I worked there in junior college a little bit, never known that I'd be back into the business. And then my mom and dad took it over, and I still love the same. And they said, well, we have a restaurant. What do we do now? And my mom said, just treat people the way you want to be treated.
Antonio, it's that philosophy that you've created that's made Luigi's such an iconic restaurant.
I feel like the community
comes together when they talk about Luigi's because we've been there for so long. I have seen so many families and children and their children and their children. When we started, it was something else. And now look at it. It's amazing. 80 something employees, and they're just the best people in all of Bakersfield.
Luigi's Restaurant and Old World Delicatessen, where families meet.
This is a special notice to U.S. taxpayers owing $10,000 or more to the IRS. Tax Relief Advocates is urgently notifying taxpayers that tax relief initiatives are now available that may significantly reduce or eliminate what you owe. If you're afraid of an IRS lien, levy, or wage garnishment, don't lose hope. You can now take advantage of these current relief programs to end all collections, reduce the amount you owe, and resolve your tax problem. Even if you have years of unfiled tax returns or are already in a payment plan, you may still qualify for significant relief. Struggling taxpayers can now get relief they need during these hard economic times. A hotline has been established by Tax Relief Advocates for you to call and see what you qualify for. They are A+ rated with the BBB and have over 1,000 5-star reviews. Don't wait. Call 800-575-7147. 800-575-7147. That's 800-575-7147 or simply visit TRA.com.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
You said you'd never buy your kid candy from the checkout aisle. Or forget extra diapers. And never give in to a meltdown. You'd never lick your thumb to clean their face. Never let them have too much screen time. And never bribe them for just one more bite. You say you'd never let them out in public without their hair brushed. Never, ever become a minivan mom. And you'd never give them your phone for a quiet dinner.
Calling. Boss. Work phone.
So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, no, it can happen. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk in temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
The Armstrong and Getty Show, weekdays noon to 2 on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show.
Whenever I hear a Prince song, I think of his death. I really do. Because there's one fact that always blows my mind. Prince was a very active dancer. You ever seen a Prince concert?
Yes, video, yes.
I saw him in Atlanta in the 80s, and my girlfriend was berserk. It was back in the days when kids our age used to have posters, and she had a Prince poster in her dorm room, and I got her tickets at the Fox and saw him, and it was the most amazing. And I was, you know, I was a typical, yeah, I can give or take Prince. And the two images I remember is how short he was and how physical he was. He was jumping all over the place, he was falling, he was rolling, and he created, you know, it was like an athlete and got addicted to painkillers. And when he died at his home, and one of in fact, Rhonda's roommate, Tracy Bradford, became an attorney. She was from Minnesota and worked for Prince. She was one of his many, many entertainment attorneys. And when he died, they found him in the elevator. He had an elevator in his home, and he was in his silk pajamas. And he was so addicted that he had pills in the pocket of his pajamas. Can you imagine being so hooked to painkillers that you can't even walk to your own bathroom and just get them out of the damn whatever that thing's called? What is your medicine cabinet? That you got to carry them around in your pajama pockets in your own house? Wow. Final hour of the broadcast. It's the Ralph Bailey Show. News Talk 96.1 AM 1180 KERN.
This is AM 1180 KERN. Green Acres,
Oh, I wish I could get up, walk around. Walk it off, baby. Walk it off.
The Trump administration continues pushing for a peace deal between Russia and Ukraine. White House correspondent.
Let's
Greg
just say the
Thompson-
word.
Secretary of State Rubio said the U.S. and Russia exchanged new ideas for Ukraine peace talks after he met with his Russian counterpart. He said they discussed a new and different approach, although he did not elaborate. Rubio said President Trump has been
I'm down in
increasingly
Orange County to
frustrated
see my
with Russia's
dentist.
Vladimir
Her dental
Putin
assistant
and the
heard I'm
ongoing
from
military
Bakersfield.
conflict.
She said
Ray
her
Clugston,
cousin's running for
Washington.
Congress against
There's a
Al
big
Bailey,
Ford
Democratic
recall
candidate.
due to faulty fuel pumps.
Ford is recalling more than 850,000 of its cars across the U.S. because the low pressure fuel pump inside the vehicles may fail and potentially could cause an engine to stall. The recall covers a wide range of Ford and Lincoln branded vehicles, including certain Ford Broncos, Explorers, and F-150s, as well as Lincoln Aviators and Navigators. Ford plans to send out notification letters to affected
How do you
owners
spell
on
inevitably?
July 14th. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
The grim search continues for survivors of the July 4th flash floods along the Guadalupe River in central Texas. Andrews County Assistant Fire Marshal Jeremy Prophet says they have enough volunteers to search for the missing.
Now, those people will be cycling through. Obviously, the treacherous work that they're doing in the heat and humidity is only about a 2 to 3 day, maybe 4 day solid labor before we start having people fall out and get hurt.
Over 160 people remain missing from the flooding. On Wall Street, the Dow up by 192 points. The Nasdaq rose 19. The S&P advanced 17. Oil down to 66.91 a barrel. More at townhall.com.
Healthcare is complicated. It doesn't have to be. If you don't love how your health insurance works, maybe it's time to leave traditional health insurance behind. Take charge of your healthcare with Christian Healthcare Ministries. CHM offers you flexibility. Enroll anytime, choose your own provider, and select the program that fits your needs and budget. CHM is the original faith-based way of taking care of your medical bill costs. Learn more at chministries.org/wellness.
Small businesses are the backbone of the American economy. Now it's time to tell their stories. Listen to the Main Street Matters podcast from Job Creators Network, hosted by Alfredo Ortiz and Elaine Parker. In each episode, they tell the stories of small businesses who are pushing back against government regulation to succeed and flourish. Subscribe to Main Street Matters at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or at SalemPodcastNetwork.com. From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm Bill Robbins. A 30-year-old man faces multiple charges. Reginald Mullen was arrested for his alleged roles with the deaths of 2 people after several crashes in Bakersfield last month. That's according to BPD. Mullen faces charges including murder, gross vehicular manslaughter while intoxicated, and hit and run resulting in death. Just after 6 p.m. June 1st, officers were sent to Baker and Summer Street for a report of a crash involving a vehicle and a pedestrian. They also got word of a crash on Baker Street and Nile Street. Mullen is accused of killing a driver at the scene and a pedestrian who died a day later. A 21-year-old man in Bakersfield police officers for allegedly shooting and killing 54-year-old Ever Ives. Officers say it happened just before 12:30 Tuesday morning in the 400 Pacheco Road. Arriving officers found the man and the suspect. According to the Kern County Coroner's Office, Forrest was shot and died at the scene. A GoFundMe has been set up. His family say Forrest died a hero shielding his daughter from harm. The suspect, Abdullah Andrew Harris, faces multiple charges, including first-degree murder. A woman has died at the Laredo jail after being booked for attempted murder on Saturday. 46-year-old Jody Lynn Gaddis of Tehachapi was found unresponsive at the Laredo pretrial facility. That's according to KCSO. No word yet on the cause of death. Ridgecrest Police will conduct a DUI checkpoint tomorrow night from 6 p.m. till 2 a.m. It will be done at an undisclosed location. Ridgecrest police remind the community that impaired driving can come not just from alcohol,
Say what?
but from marijuana, prescriptions, and even over-the-counter drugs. I'm Bill Robbins.
Dude, I don't even
KERN
watch
Newsroom with news every half hour.
preseason, let alone
Mid breaks,
summer ball.
News Talk 96.1.
I used to go to Loyola when I lived in LA and watch it. Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Now make sure you leave the house when you make the call. You understand me? You hear me? Call from an outside line. I mean it.
Call in or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Final hour of the broadcast on this Thursday, 10th day of July. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. We're streaming live at kernradio.com. So got lots to do, lots to talk about in the final hour. We'll get into the major cover-up of the Biden incompetence, Uncle Fluffy. Get into the investigation of the Butler, Pennsylvania assassination attempt. 6 Secret Service agents have been suspended. And there's an upcoming documentary on Thomas Crooks, the young kid that damn near killed the president and killed a Trump supporter in the stands that afternoon. Horrible, horrible day in American life. And to think that he almost died on the golf course as well. I was watching this thing last night, famous assassination attempts. And they include in the assassination attempts, because the most famous is probably Ronald Reagan, who was shot and we thought was dead. But they include in that one of the smoothest moves I've ever seen. And that's George Bush ducking the guy with the shoe. You ever seen that video?
I forgot about that video.
Have you ever seen that video? That is so chilly. I don't know what dignitary he's standing next to, but Bush is standing there, and dude just takes off his shoe and throws at him, and Bush just goes, huh? Huh? And stays right there, Jack. It was like Barnes and Kobe Bryant. When Barnes threw the ball, he's trying to inbound the ball, and Kobe's standing right like 6 inches from his face, and he fakes like he's going to throw it in Kobe's face, and Kobe didn't flinch. I was like, damn, that's bad. Because if it's me, I'd be like, hey, what's the matter with you? Throw that ball at me. Oh, I thought you were throwing. And if a guy picked up a shoe, man, it would have hit me right in the face. I don't think I'd have been able to, because you're not looking for a guy that,
I was actually wondering if you were going to hit the camera. I'm not gonna
no,
lie.
I wasn't going to hit the camera. I actually threw my topsider across the floor. Barefoot. Who expects that?
Sure.
And GW just went, and they tackle a guy. I don't know. I need to stop watching the reels. That's why I get no sleep. About 9:30, I start watching that nonsense right after the Dodger game. That's why I watched no television last night, because the Dodger game was over early, and I was in bed by 9:30, and I had left it on Sports Center. So I woke up at 5:30 in the morning, and I turned television on. I was like, I slept. Okay, I got a great night's sleep. I got to get up. Who cares what time it is? Turn TV on. And we're almost set to get underway. Arena Sabalenka taking on the American Amanda Anisimova. And it was one of the best. I mean, it was not only great that the American won, and I hate Arena Sabalenka, and that she once again showed her ass by yelling at the girl. She went down 5-2 in the final set. Sabalenka did, the number 1 player in the world. And the girl hit a shot that hit the net and fell over, and Amanda, the American girl, won the point. And normally, they'll raise their hand or they'll recognize that was luck, and she didn't. And Sabalenka realized, I think, at that point, down 5-2, ain't no way in the world I'm about to win 5-6 games before this girl wins 1, and I'm about to lose the damn Wimbledon Open. And after winning 3 major championships in 23 and 24. Sabalenka now is 0 for 3. Lost the Australian. She lost to Coco in France. Showed her ass. Said that Coco didn't really play that well. I just played badly. And then they made up and they did a little video for TikTok because that's what kids in their 20s do, showing their friends and whatever. And she showed her ass again. Showed her ass again. You know, part of being a champion is your character. And this girl, I don't think, the best advice they could give her, because she's clearly the most talented player, along with Swiatek, who's never won Wimbledon. But she's about 6'1". What do you think Sabalenka is, the big Belarusian bear? About $170, $165?
Maybe.
And she's not fat. She's not even in the zip code. And she just should be dominating. She's a head case. Absolute head case. 842-5376, 842-KER. Let's check the board. What's going on?
I got a couple calls for you.
Who you got?
I got Sean on the line.
Sean, you're on the Ralph Bailey Show.
How you doing, sir?
Good, good. It's popping.
All right, glad to have you back.
Thank you.
Before I get to my question, I was streaming, browsing through my YouTube, and I noticed Current Radio Live app. Saw you live, so I subscribed. So I might have made maybe the 100 subscribers, but when I checked the subscribe, you actually have 109.
Nice. Didn't know that. Thank you.
Yeah.
I had no idea that that's what we were trying to do.
Yeah,
I just thought people tuned in on the daily, but you guys actually subscribe.
Yeah, and you maybe have a whole lot more subscribers than that. You know, the YouTube, a lot of YouTubers complain about misalgorithm calculation, so you may have a lot more people watching.
Yeah.
But it doesn't show up on the subscriber view.
Well, yeah, you don't have to subscribe to watch because I haven't subscribed yet. It's my own damn station. But I watched JR the other day on his birthday.
Right, definitely. My question is regarding the birthright citizenship.
Yes. I haven't really talked about that today.
Okay. What I would like to know is, does that affect Black Americans?
No. It was designed for African Americans, actually. That was its intent to embrace the children of slaves who were not born here, who were brought here, and to adopt essentially their children who were born here. That was the intent.
Right.
So no, they're not going to start shipping out Black people. I don't think that's a concern.
And if there are any amendments done to it, the amendment again, like how is that? Because considering that it was founded on premise of the descendants of Black slaves.
You're trying to tell us something.
No, I don't know. I'm just asking.
What is your question? You lost me.
Answered it.
Oh, okay.
Answered it. But
Okay.
I was just curious about
All
that.
right.
You know, how was that happening?
All right, man. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it. All right, buddy. Thanks for subscribing. I'm so stupid. Don't you guys realize I'm an old man and you got to sit me down and explain these things to me? I really had no idea we're trying to build subscribers. I had no clue of that.
Well, that comes with it, yes.
Well, how do you guys show? Now you got to show me how I subscribe.
You just literally press the button. It just says subscribe right as you look at the page.
Okay, there's
a little
something that
subscribe.
says, okay, I will do that tonight, as a matter of fact. Who else you got?
Daily Dave is now.
Daily Dave, what's really going on?
Hey, brother, how you feeling?
I'm better, thanks, Dave.
Good. Have you figured out what remedy you're going to try?
Well, one of the listeners, Ray, brought a energy green. Now, I'm just going to get on the allopurinol. Just pay closer attention to what I'm eating. I'm having Bill Lee's tonight.
I want to get some golfing this summer with you when the timing's right. But anyway, I want to get to my Dodgers. Oh, I can't even watch the Dodgers play the Houston Astros because I just think they're cheating.
Why? How?
Well, I don't know how, but because they cheated us in 17 out of a World Series, and they just keep hitting home runs and getting doubles and triples. And, you know, the first 2 games of the series, it was like a blowout.
Well, I've got an explanation for that.
Okay.
Our pitching's not very good right now.
Okay.
We got like 14 people on the injured reserve list: Blake Tynan, Evan Phillips, Gonsolin. I mean, people, it's amazing that we have the 3rd best record in baseball. And our superstars, I don't know who is wearing number 5, but it certainly ain't Freddie. I've never seen Freddie strike out twice in a road trip 3 times. Never seen that.
You're right. And I want to tell you, someone said, maybe you said it was last year, right before the All-Star break, they went on a slump. They lost 7 of 11 before the break, and then they came out of it, and then they won the World Series. I believe it can happen again. I'm a little concerned about them pitching Ohtani, though.
Well, the good news is Tyler Glasnow looked pretty good the other day in a loss, but he looked pretty good. And I think a lot of guys, you know, we haven't even seen Blake Snell come back yet. And I think these guys, maybe this is a good thing, because I don't think the division is in jeopardy, or getting into the playoffs is in jeopardy. And as long as these guys come back, you know, late August, early September, hell, maybe that'll be the best thing. They're rested, ready to go. Blake Snell, Trinan, Phillips, Gonsolin. These guys come back in a wave. Teo gets healthy. Edmonds not 100%. Maybe this is a good thing. I don't know.
Yeah. What do you think of Clayton Kershaw? You think he can be used in the playoffs?
Well, he doesn't have a good track record in the playoffs, even when he was young and a stud. But yeah, he looked decent. He got beat the other day, but he's 4-1, and I don't know, Dave. I don't know. I you know, what do I know?
Well, I just be hopeful. I think we're going to be fine come, like you said, August, September, when it really counts, and then we'll find our way. We'll get our pitching back, and our hitters will start hitting.
Yeah, I'm Mookie Betts is not going to hit like 240 for the year, which he's hitting right now. Freddie's not going to be flailing away for the rest of the year. These guys will come back up.
And Muncy might come back too, right?
I don't know what the deal is with Max, but yeah, he should be ready by September for sure.
Yeah, we got a lot to look forward to. Anyway, get better and have a great show.
All right, Dave. Thanks, man. Quick time out. We'll talk about the president, Uncle Fluffy, and why his physician, Kevin O'Connor, took the 5th, not answering questions of the House Oversight Committee. You'll hear from James Comer when we come back. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on a Thursday, right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. We're streaming live at kernradio.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Friday edition, Clay Travis, Buck Sexton Show. We will dive into the absolute latest on the MAHA movement with our friend FDA Commissioner Dr. Marty Makary, and former FBI agent Nicole Parker will join us to talk about what she thinks is going on. Friday edition on Clay and Buck.
The Clay Travis and Buck Sexton Show. Live 9 to noon. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
That was stupid, because what if I had fucking missed and hit that fucking camera?
Good news, the 2025
I would be dead. They probably made me pay for it.
Is an IIHS top safety.
I had to take it out of my check.
Right now, you can lease a brand
Is that
new
Bronny?
2025 Solterra Premium SST for just $299 a month.
Well, this is where he belongs.
6 months and zero
In the
due
summer league.
signing. That's right. Nothing but your John Hancock on a brand new EV.
Look at his man got the tip in. He tried to block him out, and he got lazy, and his guy got the tip in. It's horrible.
Of course, just ask my good friends Damon Kovach and Hassan Levy about all the great Subaru vehicles for 2025. Sangera Subaru, located at 5500 Gasoline Alley Drive.
This turned out all right.
Or 24/7 at
The spot.
sangerasubaru.com. Sangera Subaru.
Are you serious?
Yeah, better community.
Through July 25, lease 2025 Solterra Premium SST for $299 a month on a 36-month lease. Zero due at lease signing plus tax and license. Zero security deposit. 7,500 mile year limit. 15 cent per mile overage. MSRP $41,656. VIN number SA-095326. Monocode SED-11.
Hey, it's JR for
Oh, that's right. So it couldn't. You said it was a minute.
and
We really
still
should have gone like
keeping the weight
45
off.
seconds.
I swear, everywhere I go, everybody wants to know, how did I do it? They're like, JR, are you doing those GLP-1s? Are you taking the shots, the injections? What's going on? Heck no, I would never take injections or drugs to lose weight, ever. That's why I love Bakersfield Weight Loss.
This is
It's
why
all
these
natural.
guys get in
Not
so
only
much
that,
trouble.
they've taught me how to
You know, it's
reset
like the
my
women
metabolism. That's
on
right.
the bench,
That's
the
secret.
NBA
Maybe
women
you're currently
are
using
all
semaglutide
freaking
injections,
25 and
or maybe you had to
extremely
stop
hot.
taking them because of bad side effects, or your insurance
Even
no
the
longer
girls that
covers the
work for the
treatment,
league,
or because
or
you
they
gained all
either
the
work
weight
for
back.
one of the
Don't
teams.
give up. Go to BakersfieldWeightLoss.com. They can help. Again, they
I
helped
don't
me
care.
last year lose 25 pounds. Not only that, I've kept the weight off.
Like all
Give
those
them a
girls
call.
along
It's
that
a free
desk right there.
consultation.
They either work for the NBA or they work for the Lakers.
661-449-1150. 661-449-1150.
Got that from afar,
or
trying to
online
hop
at
around.
BakersfieldWeightLoss.com.
King Door Company continues to set the standard in the garage door industry, and I'm here to tell you a few of the reasons why. First off, King Door carries Clopay garage panels
That's
and
the draft
Liftmaster
pick.
openers, so you're guaranteed quality and reliability well beyond the reach of most garage door companies, and it just gets better from there. King Door has a fleet of fully stocked service trucks with all the parts and tools to handle any job quickly and efficiently, and those trucks are manned by the most knowledgeable technicians anywhere. They have all the technical expertise imaginable in the most
I'm doing Bill Lee's
training
tonight.
available. In fact, King Door is so committed to training that they have the King Door Academy, a full-size
I'm
state-of-the-art
gonna go
classroom
do
ready premises with all the latest
beef and
teaching aids,
broccoli with some
including
pot
working
stickers.
garage doors to simulate any installation, repair, or technique. Your garage door is a very important part of the safety, security, and look of your home. So don't trust it to anyone
God, I
but
would
King Door
love to have
Company.
the
Call them
shrimp.
today at
God, those shrimps are so good.
397-2744. Stop by the showroom at
Shrimp.
7450 District Boulevard.
Look at the
or check
strat.
them online
That's
at
my house, baby.
kingdoor.com. King Door Company, your company
That's
with
where I
the pride
stay.
of Lion.
I wasn't this August. I was going to stay at the Four Queens. So I go,
Live 9 to noon.
no, I
Now
don't think so.
back to the Ralph
I
Bailey
don't
Show
think so.
on News
But I do
Talk
think I'm going to go to
96.1 and
Pismo with Swaim and those guys. I think so. Baby. So President Biden's physician, Kevin O'Connor, went before the House Oversight Committee led by James Comer and took the fifth. And like Mr. Turnipseed presumed, I also presumed that they got into a bunch of questions about his medical health. And as a good physician would, he refused to answer. But here's James Comer explaining that some of these questions had nothing to do with the president's health.
Dr. O'Connor pleaded the Fifth Amendment, and I'm gonna read the first two questions that were asked. Were you ever told to lie about the president's health? He pleaded the Fifth Amendment. He would not answer that question. The second question: did you ever believe President Biden was unfit to execute his duties? Again, President Biden's White House position pleaded the Fifth Amendment. This is unprecedented. And I think that this adds more fuel to the fire, that there was a cover up. I believe that this adds legitimacy to the Tapper book and the other books that are in the works that are about to come out that shows there was a lot of suspicious activity taking place in the White House with respect to the president's health. This is something I think every American is concerned about. I think every American wants to know the truth. We're going to continue this investigation. We'll move forward. We have several other witnesses that are going to come in for depositions and transcribed interviews. We will do everything in our ability to be transparent with the media, be transparent with the American people. This is very serious. And this was an opportunity for Dr. O'Connor to defend his reputation, to defend his work, and he chose to take the fifth. And
All right. That's James Comer. He went on for another minute or two. But let's concede the obvious. All right. The founding fathers were geniuses, pure geniuses who read Greek and Latin and everything that was written up until the 18th century, literally. I mean, not everything, but you know what I'm trying to say. And the Fifth Amendment has a role in the Constitution and has a role in our jurisprudence, in our judicial system. Okay? And I think because of the mafia, we've been accustomed to, if somebody's taking the Fifth, they're hiding something. They're lying. And that's unfair to Kevin O'Connor. However, in a situation like this, where we're talking about the man that had the nuclear codes, don't you owe it to your nation to be able to answer the question, did you ever lie about his health? Did you ever get before the press or in front of a microphone and not accurately describe what was going on with Uncle Fluffy? And I'm telling you, the fork in the road or the picking up of the rock will be when we hear the transcripts from the Robert Hur investigation, the prosecutor who interviewed Biden and Kamala Harris and the whole rally around Joe crowd, attacked her, saying that he was politically motivated when he said that I can't prosecute this guy. He's a kind old man that's got a horrendous memory that's worse than Ralph Bailey. And that's pretty doggone bad. So I can't do anything. And they say he's politically motivated. Oh, he's doing this on purpose, trying to sink the president. When in fact, as we've now learned through the debate and the couple of statue moments that he had in the Rose Garden when the Juneteenth and when Barack had to pick him up and carry him off the stage in LA and George Clooney wrote the letter that said, that ain't the leader of the world that I knew. And in fact, we found out that Biden didn't know who Clooney was that night. You can't tell an actor, I don't know who you are.
Not a big name.
No. I mean, you know, Clooney went home with his wife. Well, damn, if he doesn't remember me as a contributor, he should know who the hell I am. I played Edward Murrow, for God's sakes. I'm going to take it on to make it a play in a couple of years. I'm George Clooney, damn it. You know what I'm saying?
That was Batman.
That's right. One of the worst Batmans ever. But this is, I mean, when you go back and watch the whole compilations that Fox has put together, just, you know, the former Democrat, the Haitian lesbian saying that I couldn't keep up with the man, Kamala saying he's this and that. Who is Joe Haggerty, Joe Garagiola,
Joe Rogan?
There's too many Joes. Joe Ferguson. Joe Ferguson, a great catcher for the Dodgers in the 1970s. Made one of the great World Series throws ever. He's playing center field. No, he's playing right field. Jimmy Wynn is about to make a play. They're playing the Oakland A's, so we got our ass kicked. And he's about to make a play. And Joe Ferguson comes over and cuts it off, takes it from Jimmy Wynn, and he's a catcher, but he's playing right field. And he throws a bullet and throws out Sal Bando at home plate. Never forget, I was about 10 years old. Oakland A's beat the hell out of us. But Joe is married to the Russian Zabinski, Joe in the morning. What's the name of this guy?
Oh, Lord.
Joe and his wife. Somebody help me, please. My choo-choo train should go off here. Who am I talking about? Joe. We're going through the break until I find out who this guy is. Joe, who am I talking about? Well, anyway, who is it?
Explain the show again to me real quick.
He's with his wife, and she's a Russian. She was married to, she's the daughter of the big Russian guy that was a foreign advisor to Jimmy Carter, Shabrinsky or whatever the hell her name is. Anyway, he said, it's one of the greatest lie quotes ever, this is the best Joe Biden ever. It's like, what did you say? Because remember, I was a former liberal Democrat who loved Joe Biden in the late 80s until I found out he was a plagiarist.
News Talk 96.1 and
Who is it?
Literally right as we went to break, Scarborough.
Joe Scarborough.
Texas, where at least 120 people have died from flash floods and more were missing as the search for victims moved methodically along endless miles of rivers and rubble Thursday. Photos of those who have died, along with a colorful array of flowers and candles, now decorate a fence in hill country. Italian confectioner Ferrero, known for brands like Nutella and Kinder, is buying the century-old U.S. cereal company WK Kellogg in a deal valued at approximately $3.1 billion. Kellogg was founded in Battle Creek, Michigan in 1906. On Wall Street, the Dow up by 192 points, the NASDAQ rose 19. More details at srnnews.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm Bill Robbins. A 30-year-old man faces multiple charges. Reginald Mullen was arrested for his alleged roles with the deaths of 2 people after several crashes in Bakersfield last month. That's according to BPD. Mullen faces charges including murder, gross vehicular manslaughter while intoxicated, and hit and run resulting in death. Mullen is accused of killing a driver at the scene and a pedestrian who died a day later. Ridgecrest Police will conduct a DUI checkpoint tomorrow night from 6 p.m. till 2 a.m. It will be done at an undisclosed location. Ridgecrest Police remind the community that impaired driving can come not just from alcohol, but from marijuana, prescriptions, and even over-the-counter drugs. I'm Bill Robbins in the KERN Newsroom with news every half hour or when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Attention, Medicare beneficiaries here in Kern County. If you are eligible for Medicare and looking for a doctor who listens and cares about you with minimal wait times and prompt referral authorizations, it's time you learned about QualCare IPA. QualCare IPA contracts with most Medicare Advantage health plans and provides you with access to a large network of outstanding doctors and quality hospitals right here in Kern County. Medicare Advantage health plans go beyond original Medicare benefits coverage, and understanding these coverage differences may be confusing. Call us today at 661-554-4544. Let us help you understand your healthcare options for 2025. Call today, 661-554-4544. That's 661-554-4544. Get the information you need and the coverage you deserve. For accommodations of persons with special needs at meetings, call 661-554-4544, TTY 711.
Hey y'all, I'm Mia the Mosquito. West Nile. That was me and my girls. You leave water out, we move in, making millions of eggs. Bless your heart.
Stop mosquitoes before they bite. Visit kermosquito.com. No mosquitoes, no problems.
On the next Armstrong and Getty show, the move to ban Chinese purchases of farmland near our military bases is moving forward, thank goodness. Plus, the perfect workout for you from science. And it's legit.
And measles cases in the U.S., highest level in 30 years. Lots of whooping cough around. Is this something to be concerned about? Next, Armstrong and Getty show.
Weekdays noon to 2 on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
You're listening to The Ralph Bailey Show. Catch me weekday morning, 6 to 9 a.m. on First Look with Scott Cox, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Let the bad guy win every once in a while. I got a story, ain't got no morals. Let the bad guy win every once in a while. Will it go round in circles? Will it fly high like a bird up in the sky? Will it go round in circles? Will it fly high like a bird up in the sky? Dun, 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 dun. I got a horse, ain't got no steps. 842-537-6842-KERN. I'm trying to time out my Billies. I'm going Billies tonight. I'm going beef and broccoli with some, can't do the shrimp, so I got to do the pot stickers, which are outstanding.
Good substitute.
Too early, though, because I won't be home till, it's only about 45 minutes. Well, sometimes, because I'm a regular, they recognize my number, it can get there in like 30 minutes, because they'll tell you it'll be an hour. And I'm like, not for Ralph Bailey. Love Brian and his brother, Brandon. Really good guys. Really good guys. And I thought I was going to be a regular there, like a beloved regular, because for like 10 minutes, I dated Brandon's. I was dating, because I got to say this carefully, because making it sound like I was dating Brandon's wife. I was dating Brandon's wife's, one of her best friends. And it was literally like 2 months. She was still in love with her ex, or at least that's what she told me. And I thought if we got hooked up, we'd be hanging out at Billy's and hanging out with the Lee family, because they're really cool. I've known Brandon a long time, and Brian, long time. I remember, his dad was, I had one of the worst experiences of my life at Billy's. This was about 09, 10. I got my DUI in 06. And part of your probation for a year or two is you can't even go to bars. Can't even go to bars. And there were a group of DAs. It was Christmas. There were a group of DAs, and I suspect one of them was one involved in my case. And she called the cops. And so the cop is at the door, and Mr. Lee, who loved me, was very nice to me, or at least he pretended, it's business, so who knows. But he was very nice to me, Brandon, Brian's dad. And he comes to our table and he says, the police officer would like to speak to you, Ralph. And I said, that's funny, Mr. Lee. He goes, no, I'm serious. He'd like to speak to you. And I'm like, oh my God. And I went outside and he said, is your name Ralph Bailey? I go, yes, sir. Can I see your ID? He said, yes, sir. And he's, Ralph Bailey, 1313 Mockingbird Lane, 704 Hauser Street. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what's going on? And he says, well, there has been an allegation that you've broken your probation and you should not be in a bar. And I said, my probation is expired, I think. And I had forgotten, it was 3 years, but it was, and I said, well, what could happen if I violate my probation? Well, we would hand it over to the DA's office and it would be up to the DA's office. And I said, would I be going to jail today, right now? And he was like, could be. And I almost crapped my pants. And he, it's clear, Ralph Bailey, no warrants, no probation. All right, Mr. Bailey, I'm sorry. You're welcome to go back. And then I was like, can you tell me who called you? Because I saw a group of, no, I can't tell you that. And I insisted, he said, Mr. Bailey, if you don't go back inside, you will go to jail. And it's funny because now I watch these Reels things where people literally talk themselves into jail. Literally. Like if you've been trespassed, once they tell you to leave and you don't, they can take you to jail.
Obstruction.
Yes. Obstruction and trespassing. And then, of course, they get funky and they get a resisting arrest as well. But Ralph and Harriet raised my ass. And he said, Mr. Bailey, if you don't go back inside, I'd already turned around. Bye, Felicia. Ain't got to tell me once. Shoot. Be 20 years next year. 20 years. The only time I drive is on the weekends. And I hate driving on the weekends. Do you know why I drive on the weekends?
Driver.
Huh?
He's a driver.
Golf cart.
Ah, wow, I was kind of close.
That was kind of cool. That wasn't bad. That was good. Driving. I'm playing golf. But no, and I hate driving by myself. I was in with Dean last time I played with those guys, and I got 12,000 steps. The week before, I had to drive by myself. I got 7,000 steps. Because I'm starting to hit greens. I'm starting to hit getting on in regulation. And there is no better feeling than hitting a shot, knocking it on the green, putting your club back, grabbing your putter, and sashing my way up to the green. Everybody scattered all over the fairway trying to get on the green. I'm already on the green. So I just walk up the 150 yards that I have to go and put my 5-wood back from 150 yards. Now I'm starting to hit my irons well. The key to my swing, and this is fun now that I can actually show you guys, the key to my swing that I've changed is, I got this from Tiger Woods on Facebook, true story, is he said, my father taught me to act as if there's somebody standing right there and you're trying to reach out and shake their hand. So you're trying to extend it out like this. And I think what I have been doing is, what is really common for people that were horrible, is to come up like this and then come over the top like that. And remember I said, even when I started, because I had to get over the shanks was the first part. I had the shanks. Literally, guys don't even use the S word in golf. They don't use that word. It's like the worst thing that could happen. But it even happens to pros, where you just hit it off the hosel. You come in there like that, the ball goes, oh, it's so humiliating. So I got past that, and then I started pulling the ball because, again, I was hatcheting it and coming across like that. So now that I'm extending my arms and trying to reach that guy behind me, I'm coming back underneath, and now the club is square, and I carried the water on 17 after putting in the water twice in the 2 weeks preceding. I'm not happy with my game, but it's improved immensely since the last time. I'm on the USGA thing, and you go back and look at your scores. And last summer, I shot 100 at BC. That's BCC. That's ridiculous. I could not shoot 100 now. But I love playing with these guys. They don't take it very seriously because I cheated the last time I played. I think it was the last time I played. Or maybe it was the time before that.
Did you take a stroke off?
No, I don't lie. I would never do that. It's not worth it. These guys don't care. Once you're out of the money, yeah. Once you're out of the money, they don't care what you put on the scoreboard. They don't give a damn. But yeah, I hit somebody else's ball and then just went, okay, well, I'll go hit my ball now and play it without a stroke penalty or whatever the penalty is. And I don't know how I was that brain dead. And then like 2 or 3 holes later, I asked Mark, who was a golf, god. He's been playing golf since he was in high school, literally. And I said, is that a penalty? He said, of course it is. I was like, yeah, of course it is. I don't even know what I was thinking. Like, how could you not know? And I think I took a bogey on that hole, and I should have made a 7. Who else plays yellow balls? Like, come on. But his had a big red 4 on it, and I just didn't even look at it. And like I said, when I talked about it a couple of weeks ago, my shot was easier. His shot was 20 yards back and had a horrible angle. My shot was up close to the green. It's just stupid. What do you got on the board before I call Bill Lees?
Ralph, if there was an Epstein list with Trump's name on it, don't you think that we would have been released before the last election when the Dems were in control?
Yes, exactly. That's exactly true. The Biden DOJ had the very documents that Pam Bondi has. Pam Bondi has made this thing a fiasco. And I thought it was the hyperactive MAGA influencers. They're all on podcasts screaming for her head. I saw Megyn Kelly last night, did a big piece on her. That's where I found out that she was handing out those booklets to the influencers, air quotes, at the White House. And yet it was information everybody knew. And then there's some CNN reporter that's reporting that there are So many documents that are still out there, flight logs, things like that. The best thing they can do at this point is just release it all. Just release it all. But just self-inflicted wound and more evidence that I'm absolutely right that this cabinet is a crap show. Pete Hegseth will not be there by the end of the year. You don't do things without telling the President of the United States. And he apparently, on the eve, and I don't think this is a coincidence, of Russia's most lethal residential attack on Ukraine, he stops military aid. Fred didn't know anything about it. Didn't know anything about it. He's an idiot. Y'all can't admit that. Who does that? I mean, there's a whole process, from what I understand and from what I read in the New York Times, that if you come up with something, an idea out of the State Department or the Defense Department, it goes to the NSA, which is now headed by Marco Rubio, and then it goes to another little committee. I don't think it's the Joint Chiefs, and then it goes to the president. Not with your boy Pete. Nope. Not with the Weekend Fox anchor. Nope. Guy wasn't even a regular anchor on Fox. He was a weekend guy. Take it from somebody that made his living as a weekend guy. You're the JV, Jack. He wasn't even the varsity. We'll see. I'm very confident about this. I don't think Hegseth's going to be around. I don't think Bondi's going to be around long. Tulsi Gabbard is dead woman walking. And I think Trump loves Patel and Bongino just because they're loyal as hell. One more. Let's take a break.
A team like LA needs a flashier stadium in 2025. Or I'm sorry, it's 2025. Going to a Dodger game feels like going to a hot, dirty park in 1976, and seats are covered in bird droppings. That's just blasphemous. Attack Disneyland.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Heaven on earth? Dodge Stadium, Palos Verdes, Beaufort, South Carolina, and Hilton Head Island. Heaven on earth. Throw Lake Tahoe in there. And all... What? That is just a god-awful, stinky, smelly, dope-smoking, PED taking, got a little boogity-boogie in them, orange and black wearing, kazoo playing Giant fan is what that's about. So stupid. Dodger Stadium, old as me. Born the same summer of 62. Just, that's the most ignorant statement I've ever heard in my life. Chris is correct. It's Disneyland. It's heaven on earth. It's the drama. It's the remembering the 70s and seeing our ass getting kicked by the A's, and then the big red machine, and then that man, Reginald Martinez Jackson. We're up in the right field pavilion. We can barely see the players on the field. I'm in 11th grade with John Temple on my right. 2-0 Dodgers. Bob Welch, later to become an alcoholic and die young, strikes out Reggie Smith on a 3-2 pitch that he fouled off and fouled off and fouled off. And we skip out of that park like two gay kids thinking that we're finally going to beat the Yankees. We're up 2-0. There's no way we lose to the Yankees this time. No way. Didn't win another game this season. Went up 2-0 in the World Series and got swept for. That's probably never, I can't remember the last time this happened. I think that was the 2-3-2 years where we went back to New York. They swept us in 3 and then came back and won it in LA. Or did they win it the night that he hit the 3 in a row? No, I don't think they did. Where that man, Reginald Martinez Jackson, saw 3 pitches. He did a Barry Bonds. He saw 3 pitches, Chris. He only saw 3 pitches. And all 3 did not stay in the confines of the greatest ballpark, second to Wrigley and Fenway, maybe even the Camden Yards, in America. Horrible childhood memories. All right, let's go. Final break of the night. I'm about to pass out. I got to start eating in the morning. I just haven't been eating since this foot. It's weird. Kind of scared. I did not eat Saturday. I did not eat Sunday. I ordered a burger Monday and threw it away. And I was sick all day Tuesday, stomach sick. I had a 2-piece chicken thing from Coconut Joe's, and I ate the drumstick and chewed on some rice, put it in the fridge. I forgot I could have that. No, I don't want chicken again. I'm doing Bill Rees. Ooh, I'm sorry about that. I actually have it in my phone as REES. I'm such a racist bastard. Final break of the night. Keep it locked. Charlie Kirk at the top of the hour. Tomorrow's a Friday. We're going to talk about Superman with Rick Bentley, and I believe Mr. Bentley is coming in as Ed McMahon. And I am Karnak the Magnificent. It's coming up tomorrow. And with the time change, by the time we go on the air at 3 o'clock, we will know who is advancing the finals on the men's side. Taylor Fritz, the American, taking on Carlos Alcaraz, my man from Spain. And Yannick Skinner taking on the legend Novak Djokovic. Final break of the night. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1, AM 1180, KERN. We're streaming live at kernradio.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Start your day right. First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9.
Hey, Siri.
On the Friday edition of the First Look program, we'll have the latest from
Call
this
Bill Rees.
horrific story unfolding down there in Texas. And by the way, with intermittent interruptions for now flooding in New Mexico, we'll talk about that.
Hey, Siri.
We got news, we got traffic, we got weather. It's all
Hey,
happening
Siri.
6 to 9 a.m. right here at News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180.
Hey, Siri.
First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9.
Call Bill Rees.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Hi, I'm Rick Sorcy, certified kitchen and bath designer and owner of Stockdale Kitchen and Bath. When it comes to remodeling your kitchen or bathroom, you deserve a process that's personal,
Like to make an order for delivery?
and as stress-free as possible. That's why I
661?
personally every project with you using
619?
three-dimensional software, so you can see.
Your transition starts.
Had to
here.
cut you all off.
AI to IT in
Give
a
my
matter of
personal
months. Become a
information to Bill
certified cyber
Rees.
warrior with training at My Computer
Can't be
Career.
giving out my
Cybersecurity
address and my
specialists
damn
are on
number
demand, offering IT
or and
professionals
my
opportunities
Visa card
and a
number.
rewarding lifestyle.
I almost screwed up and forgot. Give these people a damn Visa card number with expiration date and the security.
This is why I tell you to hit the button.
I did, but I almost forgot.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big
That's
guys.
funny.
Truth is,
Can you imagine if I did that?
Man, YouTube is going to be the death of you.
I know. No, I'm starting to get cognizant. I like the fact that I'm not cognizant of it. You know what I mean? So I don't like perform.
And to a level, you shouldn't be cognizant of it, but
I shouldn't.
Should not.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But audio wise, it's dangerous as hell.
Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
I'm JR Flores. Just remember all the journalists who died by hot mic.
No kidding.
Back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
842-5376, 842-KERN. Again, I want to give a shout out to Ray, who went out of his way to come to the studio today. Sorry, Ray, that I couldn't meet you. I was in a little pre-show meeting. He brought some all-day energy greens for my gout and swears by this stuff. Just put it in water after you eat or during your dinner.
Is that pomegranate juice as well? Or something?
Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to go that far. But it's mostly vitamin C. So I'm excited about that. And I start eating better. You know, I thought I was eating well because I eat a lot of chicken, a lot of fish. But I stopped eating fruits. I don't eat a lot of vegetables. That's one of the reasons I did Belize tonight, because I did the beef and broccoli. And granted, the beef isn't that great, but the broccoli is outstanding. And I didn't get the shrimp, even though I love the shrimp. I got the pot stickers. What do you got on the board? Let's get out of here.
I think the message should be, if you're on Medicaid, honestly, you have no worries. If you're on it illegally, be scared to death.
Well, of course, that will definitely be the logic. And I thought the best argument, like I said earlier, we were talking about this, I think with Daniel Petrie, was from Congressman Fong, who basically said, you've got to lead with, it's insolvent. And if we keep going down this route of the Atlantic, we're going to hit the iceberg sooner or later. It is inevitable. So why don't we, I don't know, change course? Bottom line. Now, that's a tough message to sell in a district where, you know, almost 70% of the people are on Medicaid. And of course, the message from the Democrats will be run for your life. You're going to die on a curb somewhere, you know, or your grandfather is going to be, won't have a rural hospital to go to and all this nonsense, despite the fact they put $50 billion aside for rural hospitals. And one of the questions was, well, if it doesn't affect smaller communities, rural communities, then why did the Senate have to come in and bail you out and put a $50 billion nest egg in there for you? Which is a good question, because that's the one portion of the bill I'm not in love with. But it's all about messaging. It's all about who can get the message out. And it'll be Dolores Huerta and her crew up in the 22nd district. Although I'm not sure they're a Jasmeet Bains backer. They're more of a Manpreet Kaur fan, I do believe. One more, and let's go home.
Ralph, you just made me spit my beef on my computer screen.
What about what?
The Bill Lee's joke.
Well, no, that was not right. That was totally racist, and I was wrong, and I apologize. But come on, let's don't take life too seriously, shall we? One more.
Ralph, if your gout got you so bad you couldn't work anymore, what would you do if Medicaid has your health care?
Well, I sit for a living, so it would never affect it. I mean, if it didn't affect it yesterday when I was writhing in pain, or today even, I'm not in pain today, but I still had to hobble in here. And once I'm in the chair, I'm good. It's a ridiculous question. It's not like I'm putting air conditionings on roofs. I sit on my behind for 3 hours. I lay in my bed from about 7 to noon, putting together a rundown, watching news, reading stories. I'm not delivering the mail. Tomorrow's a Friday. Superman will be the topic. Rick Bentley will be along with us. And as I mentioned earlier, we'll know who will be in the finals for the men. It's Iga Swiatek and Amanda Amanzova. I got to get out of here. For Chris Burdick, I'm Ralph Bailey. That's what's really going on. Wrap to you tomorrow.
This is AM 1180.
You ready? What do we do today? God, I wish I could do that Bill Reese joke. All right, guys, thanks for subscribing. Tell your friends all about us. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in today.